Welcome everyone to Yankee Stadium in New York for live coverage of Friday night baseball. Tonight it's game one of a three-game series between the Boston Red Sox and the New York Yankees. Hello everyone and welcome. I'm Sean McDonough. Delighted to have you with us as the Red Sox and Yankees begin their final regular season series head-to-head in 2003. And as the Red Sox arrive here in New York for what should be a very exciting and important weekend, they are now just 3.5 games behind New York in the race for the title in the American League East. 2 weeks ago, the margin was 7, so the Red Sox have cut that in half. And the Red Sox are now the wild card leaders by a half game over Seattle. The Mariners are at Baltimore tonight. And joined as always by Jerry Remy. Jerry, last chance for the Red Sox head-to-head against New York, and despite losing 2 out of 3 last weekend to the Yankees, they continue to inch closer.
Well, Sean, every time it looks like the Yankees are going to run away with the division, they've almost buried the Red Sox twice. The Red Sox keep bouncing back. You go on this road trip, they played very good baseball. The Yankees struggle up in Toronto, so you come into Yankee Stadium with certainly a chance to get back closer to first place. Now, Pedro Martinez works this ball game tonight. Hopefully, it's going to be a different Pedro than the Yankees saw last week. One guy that was a little bit sick, not strong. The Yankees always battle him very tough, but hopefully tonight will be close to 100%.
The pitching matchup is a rematch of the game last Saturday at Fenway Park. And the starting pitchers are brought to you by Honda. Experience the stylish all-new 2003 Honda Accord now at your Honda dealer. It will be Pedro Martinez trying to bounce back after that rough outing against the Yankees. He'll be opposed by Andy Pettitte, who has won his last 4 starts and is looking for his 18th win of the year. Starting pitchers brought to you by Honda. A beautiful night at Yankee Stadium, and the first pitch of the weekend comes your way right after this.
The heart of jazz is improvisation. It's got to come from you. Jazz is a byproduct of the American experience. You got to be free to create.
TIAA Craft manages money for Ellis Marsalis.
Jazz, that's what I think about.
TIAA Craft, managing money for people with other things to think about. Log on to learn more.
Try a delicious breakfast sandwich on a freshly baked bagel from Dunkin' Donuts. It's just the thing you've been waiting for. Stop by today for any one of our delicious breakfast sandwiches, including the new sourdough bagel sandwich for just $1.99. Just the thing.
Strangers in the night, exchanging glances.
No two people are the same, which becomes obvious as soon as they share a bed. That's why we created the Sleep Number bed. It allows each person to set their side of the bed to their sleep number, which is their level of ideal firmness. A sleep number is the key to a perfect night's sleep. Find your sleep number at a select comfort store.
To do this job, you gotta be stronger than the competition.
You gotta be accurate. Your performance has to be consistent.
You gotta have a solid work ethic.
That's why they say it's built for tough.
When it comes to power and performance, everyone knows F-Series is the only game in town. Get into an F-Series with up to $3,000 cash back or 0% financing. Hurry in, because when they're gone, they're gone.
Only at your New England Ford dealer.
Friday Night Baseball is brought to you by Jaguar. By Budweiser, the best things in life are the things that are true. Budweiser. By Ford, if you haven't looked at a Ford lately, look again. And by Southwest Airlines, more than 2,700 nonstop daily flights to 59 destinations all across the country. Yankee Stadium in the Bronx, New York, sold out as usual. The Red Sox and Yankees get together, crowd in the neighborhood of 55,000 on hand for the start of a great weekend. Red Sox and Yankees in September, when the games mean something in the standings for both teams. Yankees lead the season series 9-7 after taking 2 out of 3 last weekend from the Red Sox at Fenway Park. But since then, the Red Sox have won 3 in a row to start this 9-game road trip. Red Sox lineup brought to you by Southwest Airlines. And as the Red Sox go for their 4th straight win, Grady Little as Johnny Damon, the center fielder, leading off. Bill Miller at third base. Nomar Garcia Parra, the shortstop. Manny Ramirez in left field. He's the cleanup hitter. The red hot David Ortiz, the DH. Kevin Millar playing first base and batting sixth. Then Jason Varitek, the catcher. Trot Nixon in right field. And Lou Merlone will get the start at second base and bat ninth.
And the defense tonight for the Yankees, they are 10th in the American League with 94 errors on the season. It's Aaron Boone at third base. Enrique Wilson, he'll probably be there all weekend as Derek Jeter may not play at all against the Red Sox. Alfonso Soriano at second and Nick Johnson at first. Left to right, Hideki Matsui, Bernie Williams, and Kareem Garcia. Jorge Posada doing the catching, and on the mound, left-hander Andy Pettitte. 17-7 on the season for Pettitte, the 4.01 ERA. He is currently on a 4-game winning streak, and it's very, very tough on the Red Sox. In his career, 13-4 so far this season, 3-0 with a 2.38 ERA.
The Red Sox have hit just 190 as a team against Andy Pettitte this year, far below the Red Sox team batting average for the season of 291. Some quick math, as a matter of fact, reveals it's 101 points below the Red Sox team batting average. As usual, plenty of Red Sox fans in attendance and a spirited gathering on hand to watch the latest renewal of one of the great rivalries in all of sports. As a matter of fact, if you name a better one, we'd like to hear about it. Here's the first pitch of the weekend from Pettitte. A fastball inside corner, belt high for a strike, says home plate umpire Joe West. 74 delightful degrees at game time. Damon at 273, 11 homers, 54 runs batted in. And a ball away, 1 ball and 1 strike.
Pettitte with the most wins on the Yankee team. He has been very steady all season long.
Damon drops down a bunt. Nick Johnson with nobody covering first. Neither Alfonso Soriano nor Andy Pettitte covered first base, and Johnson was a long way from the bag. No chance to beat Damon, so it's a bunt hit to open the night for Johnny.
And once the ball got by Andy Pettitte, he just stopped. He has to continue on to first base to try to take that throw from Nick Johnson. Once Johnson spins around, there's nobody there. He's looking for Pettitte, but Pettitte just stopped between the pitcher's mound and first base. Perfect bunt by Johnny Damon.
'18th infield hit of the season for Damon. That leads the Red Sox, as you might expect. He's also their leading base stealer with 26 and has been thrown out 5 times trying to steal. The batter is switch hitter Bill Miller. And he fists one foul into the stands and right. Miller hitting .319. He's been in a slump. He has 17 homers and has driven in 74. He's just 3 for his last 24. A 125 average over his last 8 games. Still very much in the race for the American League batting title. At the moment, he's just 3 points behind the co-league leaders, Derek Jeter, the Yankees, who, as Jerry mentioned, is unlikely to play this weekend, and Maglio Ordonez of Chicago. They're just 1 point ahead of Cleveland's Milton Bradley. Then it's Miller tied for 4th with Garrett Anderson and Nomar Garcia-Parra, who stands on deck. Headed ahead of Miller, 0-2. Bills hit .305 right-handed, and a pitch out. Damon not on the run.
Incredibly, Andy Pettitte does not have a pick-off all season long, but that shouldn't be unusual because guys don't get big leads against him. He's had tremendous amount in his career, over 60, and you will see a lot of Red Sox base runners with very short leads at first base.
Well, the rest of baseball doesn't know by now that he has perhaps the best pickoff move in baseball. They never will know. Pettitte, now 31 years old, a Louisiana native, lives in Deer Park, Texas. In the dirt, dug out by Posada.
Take a look at the scouting report on Andy Pettitte. Of course, fastball, and he cuts that fastball, breaks a lot of bats of right-handed hitters. He's got the curveball slider. Opponent's only hitting 151 against that slider. He also throws a changeup, and as we mentioned, that great move to first base.
He comes to the plate with a 2-2, and it's grounded foul wide of third. While the Red Sox were winning 3 games in a row, the makeup game in Philadelphia on Monday, and then the 2 games in Chicago on Tuesday and Wednesday, the Yankees and Joe Torre lost 2 out of 3 in Toronto. Had they been swept, the Red Sox would have come here with a chance to be alone in first place at the end of the weekend with a sweep. Now the best the Red Sox can do is be a half game out. They'd certainly be very happy with that, leaving New York on Sunday.
It's crazy, Sean. You know, the Yankees are in first place, but it seems like there's a lot more pressure on them than on the Red Sox at this point. There's been a lot of criticism from the owner, George Steinbrenner, about Torre, about his coaching staff, about the way the team has played.
Another 2-2 to Miller, and he strikes out on a breaking ball for the first out of the ball game.
Last time Pettitte faced the Red Sox at Fenway Park, he had 7 strikeouts in that ball game. He did not walk anybody. That's the curveball for the strikeout against Bill Miller.
Here's Nomar, like Miller, ahead of him, slumping a bit, down to 319, 23 homers and 91 runs batted in. He's 2 for his last 18 over the last 4 games. Very much alive in his quest for his 3rd American League batting title. He was the American League hitting champ in 1999 and 2000. Gaiman still at first with 1 out and a foul ball off to the right.
It's amazing when you look at the top 10, Sean, that Ichiro has dropped to number 10 with a 316 average. He's really been in a terrible skid.
He looked for a while like he was going to run away with the American League batting crown. He's had a gruesome second half, and as a result, the Mariners have limped through the second half of the season. How about the series they just had down in Tampa? They couldn't score any runs against that double-race pitching staff. Only Milton Bradley of Cleveland has hit for a higher average against left-handed pitching in the American League this year than Nomar's 382. Facing one of the best lefties in the league right here. Slowly past the mound, charged by Wilson. High throw, and Garciaparra is safe. The throw was high and to the right field side of the bag, and it's been scored a hit for Garciaparra. Perhaps even with an accurate throw, Nomar would have beaten the throw from Wilson. So the Red Sox with 2 men on, despite the fact that they've barely gotten both balls past the mound.
Yeah, there's a good example of Derek Jeter not in the lineup. That could have been an out. There you see a lot of spin on that ball. No glove put on it by Andy Pettitte, but the off-balance throw is high at first base, and the Red Sox got a couple of hits, strange hits here in the first inning. The bunt base hit by Damon, and that little slow roller by Garciaparra.
And now Ramirez in his 2nd game back after sitting out with the illness and then the 1-day benching in Chicago. Returned to action in the last game of that series 2 nights ago. The Red Sox had an off day yesterday, and Manny returned with a 2-for-4 game to extend his hitting streak to 9. He's very much alive in the race for the batting title at 318. He is the defending batting champion in the American League. .31 homers and 90 runs batted in for the season for Ramirez as he returns to the area in which he grew up, not far from Yankee Stadium. borderline strike. Ramirez thought it was low, and Manny, who very rarely says anything to an umpire, has several things to say to Joe West, and that gets Grady Little up out of his seat in the dugout.
Looked like the ball might have been a little bit low to Ramirez, and you're right, Sean. He very, very seldom says anything at all to an umpire.
And Joe West is one of those umpires who seems to be a lightning rod, so we'll have to watch that tonight. Base hit into right field. Damon being waved around by Mike Cubbage, and he will score as Garcia throws it in towards second base. Manny Ramirez with a base hit to right, and the Red Sox lead 1-0.
Well, Ramirez, who did not have an at-bat against live pitching for about a week, went back into the lineup a couple of days ago, had 2 hits, and now picks up the opposite field base hit against Andy Pettitte. .414 hitter is Ramirez against Pettitte coming into the game. Gets that base hit and drives in his 91st run. So no baseball has been exactly crushed in this inning, but the Red Sox do have the 1-0 lead.
They jumped out early against Andy Pettitte last Saturday afternoon at Fenway Park, but Pedro Martinez could not protect the lead. He'll have the lead as he takes the mound tonight. At least a 1-run lead. David Ortiz would like to pat it. He hits it on the ground. Base hit into right. Garcia Parra being waved around, and he will score. The throw goes toward third. Ramirez is safe, and the Red Sox lead 2-0. David Ortiz wastes no time in remaining red hot. He was the star Wednesday night in the 10-inning win in Chicago with a couple of homers and 4 runs batted in, and he's driven in another with his first swing of the night.
There cannot be a more hot hitter in the American League or in baseball right now than David Ortiz is. That throw to third base by Kareem Garcia. Aaron Boone really never held on to the baseball. The throw beat Manny, but he couldn't get it in the glove and slap the tag on. Ortiz continues to deliver big hits for the Red Sox.
He's now 6 for 12 on this road trip with 7 runs batted in 3+ games. Here's Millar. And you better pound away at Pettitte while you can. The Red Sox saw that last Saturday. You have the opportunity to slap him around. You have to take advantage of it. 2 runs in, first and third, 1 out, and a strike in on Millar. Hitting .279, 22 homers, 85 runs batted in. The problem for Pettitte has not been the count. He's been working ahead to these Red Sox hitters. Really very few well-hit balls, really, if any. What'd you say, Ortiz's was the hardest hit, and even that wasn't a rope.
No, that was a little topspin ground ball on a curveball from Pettitte.
Down swinging, gone on 3 pitches. He comes on a pitch down and in, so both outs for Pettitte have been by the strikeout.
Andy Pettitte goes to the slider down and in against Millar to pick up the strikeout. Second strikeout of the inning. It was the curveball to get Miller, and now the either cut fastball or slider from Pettitte to get Millar.
2-0 Boston in the first. Runners at first and third, 2 outs for the 7th batter of the inning, Jason Varitek. The switch hitting catcher at .276, 23 homers, 80 runs batted in. He hit his 23rd home run of the season Wednesday in Chicago. That was a big home run. It tied the game at 2 in the 7th inning. Jason looked at ball 1, and now the 1-0 pitch. Flipped out of play to the right. Pedro Martinez waiting to go to work. And he's always fired up, Jerry, but you have to think tonight he'll be especially pumped and jacked, as a former Patriots coach used to say. Swing and a miss by Varitek.
Well, it's clear last time out, Sean, he was not 100%, and it's embarrassing to him when he has that kind of an outing. I'll tell you what, though, the Yankees always battle Pedro Martinez time.
Pedro clearly seemed to be feeling the after effects of the illness that cost him some time when he did pitch in that last start last weekend. Barely got to 90 on the radar gun and just looked a little bit off throughout. Pettitte laid off the low one, evening the count at 2-2. They've made Pettitte work here in the first. He's thrown 24 pitches. Ramirez the runner at third, and Ortiz at first. Damon and Garcia Parra have already scored. The 2-2 to Pettitte. Line to left. He got a hanger and did not miss it. And here comes Ramirez to make it 3-0.
Now, Pettitte's made a number of good pitches in this inning, but that last pitch was not a good pitch from Pettitte. You said it, Sean. It was a hanger. And Jason Pettitte, strong from the right side all season long, jumps all over it. Line drive to left field, and the Red Sox spot Pedro Martinez with at least 3 runs to work with. I'll say one thing.
5 singles in the inning.
This edition of the Red Sox club is not intimidated by this Yankee club.
No. Here's Trod Nixon in there against the lefty Pettitte tonight, and he rattled the cage of Posada with a foul ball. 312 for Nixon, 26 homers, 85 runs batted in. Nor should they be intimidated, Jerry. I think certainly the talent gap has closed in recent years as the Yankees have been winning the division. They've had the better team. If they have the better team now, it's not by much, and maybe not at all.
Exactly. There are some definite holes, and I'll tell you, when you look at this Yankee team, if these veteran starting pitchers do not pitch well as they head toward postseason, if they get there and then in postseason, they're not going to win anything.
No.
Because the team on the field is not as good as what they've had in the past. The bullpen is not good. So it's really going to be how far these veteran starting pitchers can take them.
And tonight, the veteran Pettitte has had a tough time here in the first. He strikes out the side, but the Red Sox get 3 runs on 5 singles. And after a half inning, it's Boston 3 and the Yankees coming up.
These everyday low fares to your favorite vacation destinations start at just $49.
You are now free to move about the country.
At Philip Morris USA, we understand that people want to know what actions we're taking on important tobacco issues. We'd like to show you some of what we're doing. We've voluntarily removed our ads from the back covers of all magazines and significantly reduced our magazine advertising. And we continue to be the major sponsor of the We Card program that trains clerks to check for ID to help prevent kids from buying cigarettes. To date, over 900,000 We Card training and resource kits have been distributed to retailers nationwide. And on our website, you can access the Parent Resource Center that offers practical information and advice from experts on how parents can talk to their kids about not smoking. You'll also find information on the serious health effects of smoking and links to sites that can help smokers quit. For more information, visit philipmorrisusa.com or call for a printed copy of excerpts from our website.
It's not just the advanced technology or the world's best blades. It's the way it's all put together. No razor shaves better than Mach 3 Turbo. It's the world's best shave. We guarantee it or your money back. Mach 3 Turbo from Gillette.
We could fix this place up. Yeah, an end table, lamp, couple of pictures, area rug. Then we could call it home.
Red Sox lead 3-0 after a half inning here in New York. The Yankees starting lineup is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. New York 84-54 on the season, the best record in the American League. The Yankees have Alfonso Soriano at second base, Nick Johnson at first, Bernie Williams the center fielder. Jason Giambi the DH tonight, Jorge Posada the catcher, Hideki Matsui in left field hitting 6th. Then Aaron Boone at third base, Kareem Garcia in right field, and Enrique Wilson the shortstop to bat 9th against Pedro Martinez.
Pedro 10-4 in the season. The 2.52 ERA is still second best in the American League to Esteban Loaiza. Pedro is fourth in the league in strikeouts with 169. 8-8 in his career against the Yankees. 0-1 this season.
And he induces a swing and a miss from Alfonso Soriano for strike one. Soriano's average way off where you would expect it to be at 278, 29 homers, 73 runs batted in. And a strike at the knees. Pedro quickly ahead 0-2.
It's like Pedro's changed his glove tonight. He's going back to that red glove.
One and two now. Soriano 3 for his last 19. He did hit a solo homer in their win yesterday at Toronto. His only hit in 5 trips. A tough play for Garcia Parra on the move, and Millard digs it out for the out. First base coach Lee Mazzilli tried to steal the call, but he was clearly out. And a nice play on both ends, Garcia Parra and Millard.
John, there's no way that I thought a ball could be hit this far to the right of Garcia Parra and be able to throw Soriano out at first base. He couldn't have been running hard out of the batter's box. Nomar had to go a long way. The off-balance throw, the nice pick by Millard, and he's out by a half a step.
He was certainly running hard at the end.
At the end he was, yeah.
Nick Johnson, the batter, hitting .306, 11 homers and 42 runs batted in. And Pedro quickly ahead of him, 0-2. Johnson's a patient hitter, walks a lot. He's walked 55 times in just 242 at bats. He's been a hot hitter, 10 for his last 21, including 2 for 5 yesterday in Toronto. He's hit in 5 straight games. He got jammed and fouled one back to the left.
Pedro trying to work him inside. He had a big game the last time Pedro started. 4 hits in that ball game. This guy's just going to be a real good hitter. He already is a good hitter, and he's just going to keep getting better.
The 1-2 pitch. Foul tip, says Jason Varitek, but Joe West says no. On a check swing by Johnson, 2-2. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. 91-mile-per-hour fastball for the first strikeout of the night for Pedro, and the second out of the first inning.
Let's take a look at the Red Sox defense. They're 7th in the league. They've made 90 errors on the season. Bill Miller at third base. Nomar the shortstop. Lou Merlone at second base, and Kevin Millar at first. Left to right, Manny Ramirez, Johnny Damon, and Trot Nixon. Jason Varitek doing the catching for Pedro Martinez. Interesting at bat there. Everything was inside to Johnson, and finally gets him with the fastball up and away.
There's Bernie Williams, and he takes strike one. He's had a disappointing year, hitting just .271, 10 homers, 51 runs batted in. More and more Yankee fans starting to grumble a little bit about Bernie, as he's not been running down as many balls in the outfield as he once did. 4 for his last 27 and 8 for his last 52. Here's Bernie. That'll get the folks grumbling a little bit about it.
Yeah, remember too that Bernie Williams had knee surgery earlier this year too, and it takes a while to get back to 100%. And I don't think Bernie Williams, with the numbers he's putting up and the way he's playing center field, is back to 100%.
He was very late at that 91-mile-per-hour fastball. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Chance for an easy 1-2-3 first inning for Pedro. Red Sox lead 3-0. They scored 3 on 5 singles in the top of the first. Right down the middle, strike 3. Pedro strikes out 2 in a 1-2-3 first inning after 1, 3-0 Red Sox.
Dear Commissioner, Major League Baseball is great, but what if we let one lucky fan play catcher for the day?
Guest catcher for today, Jason Weinstein. Says here he's played a little T-ball. Doesn't look like he's grown much either. And that ball is driven deep. Quick rounds third. There's going to be a play at the plate. Ooh, just off the glove. Oh! Well, this will be a day he'll remember. No, he won't.
We're on. Time to get messy. Stylish. Sexy. Spectacular.
You want to know the secret to winning rigged again?
John Depp does it again. He's as good as it gets.
This is supposed to be the big dance number. You dig it?
I can dig it. Once Upon a Time in Mexico. Rated R. In theaters everywhere September 12th.
The all-new 265 horsepower Nissan Maxima.
I think Netcast is smarter, it's faster, it's better informed.
It's 1 hour, jam-packed with top stories, developing news, sports, weather.
You know, a lot of people get up earlier, work harder, and not necessarily staying up for a traditional late-night newscast.
What makes us different is that we have the backing of WBZ.
There are more resources put into this newscast than anything in town.
We're young, edgy, energetic, friendly.
Nightcast gets you what you need, and you move on.
And you should watch.
Time for League Leaders, brought to you by General Motors. And tonight we look at the home run leaders. Alex Rodriguez in front of the American League by 2 over Frank Thomas. Jason Giambi of the Yankees is third. League Leaders brought to you by General Motors. Red Sox lead 3-0. As Lou Merlone, the number 9 hitter, begins the second against Andy Pettitte. Similar start to the game last Saturday at Fenway Park when the Red Sox got 3 in the first against Pettitte and led 3-0. Merlone 2 for 5 since coming back to the Red Sox from San Diego with an RBI, a memorable RBI, and that little nubber down the third baseline Monday afternoon in Philadelphia in the 9th inning. In the game Saturday at Fenway, the Red Sox got 3 in the first. Yankees got 2 in the third off Pedro. Red Sox responded with 1 to make it 4-2, but then New York got 3. Pedro was out of the game after 4 innings, and New York went on to a 10-7 win. A leadoff walk. That's the first walk given up by Pettitte. The Red Sox have the lead man on for the second inning in a row, to the chagrin of pitching coach Mel Stottlemyre.
Strange start to this game for Andy Pettitte. His 3 outs in the first inning coming on 3 strikeouts, but he did give up 3 runs, and now he walks the number 9 hitter in the lineup to lead off the second inning.
As you mentioned earlier, he didn't walk anybody last Saturday at Fenway Park. And he's thrown another ball to Johnny Damon. He had a bunt hit on the right side of the infield to get the 3-run first inning off and running. One and one. Pettitte has won 6 straight starts against the Red Sox here at Yankee Stadium dating back to 2001. He's 8-2 against the Red Sox in his career here. 5-2 at Fenway. And he has a well-deserved reputation for being a great big game pitcher. Has come through for the Yankees time and time again down the stretch in the regular seasons, and particularly in postseason play. The 2-1 to Damon, up and in.
Left-handers actually have a higher batting average against Andy Pettitte than right-handers do. That's one of the reasons Damon in the lineup tonight. Of course, Nixon was a little bit of a surprise. He hadn't been playing against lefties recently, and 0 for 7 coming into the game tonight. But Grady said, we're playing the Yankees. I want Nixon in the lineup.
The 1 pitch on the inside corner. See if the Red Sox have Lou Merlone running with nobody out on a 3-2 pitch to Damon. He is, and Damon just did get a piece of it.
Grady Little runs almost every single situation when it's 3-2, regardless of the speed of the runner at first base. He's banking on contact from Johnny Damon. He better get it here because we mentioned it's awfully tough to get a jump against Andy Pettitte.
And Lou Merlone is not Lou Brock.
In Framingham he is.
And yes, he is, and deservedly so. Damon rolls it on the right side. Soriano the underhand toss to Johnson, and Merlone is in scoring position with 1 out.
So Damon does make the contact, and the Red Sox are able to get Merlone into scoring position. Had he not been going on this, they would have been able to go to second to get the lead man. They wouldn't have got a double play, but they would have got the lead man to keep him out of scoring position.
Red Sox lead 3-0. They're out hitting the Yankees 5-0 here in the 2nd inning. Bill Miller, the batter. He struck out swinging in the 1st. Chops that one over by the Red Sox dugout.
Well, the Red Sox had the benefit of having a day off here yesterday in New York after finishing that series in Chicago. Got here late on Wednesday night, but yesterday a complete day off while the Yankees were up playing Toronto and arrived very late back here in New York after going through customs and all that stuff.
Miller sends it in the air to right. Garcia didn't have far to go. Merlone was not tagging. He went back after the catch and almost had a chance to advance. That was an errant throw by Garcia, and Pettitte, who was backing up third, had to move quickly to prevent that ball from clanging around over by the dugout.
Well, with nobody out, you'd probably be back tagging up on that if you Lou Merlone. With 1 out, you play it almost halfway. And this throw here by Garcia, I mean, misses 1, 2, and backed up by Andy Pettitte in front of the Red Sox dugout. Was only off by about 20 feet.
Looked like Vinny Testaverde last night. These New York fans who are already grumbling about the Jets, Jets.
What a strange game that was. It was exciting that first quarter and then nothing after that.
Here's Garcia Parra trying to deliver Merlone, and he lines one to left, and that's going to drop. Matsui couldn't get it. Plays it on a hop. Merlone around to score on a long single by Garcia Parra. 4-0 Boston. Nomar 2 for 2 against Pettitte.
That'll be a perfect time for Garcia Parra to get hot. As you mentioned, Sean, 2 for 18 coming into this ball game, slumping at the beginning of this trip, but that breaking ball down and in, not far enough down and in for Pettitte. And Garcia Parra cleans it out with the base hit down the line. Matsui did actually a nice job getting over to cut that off. But the 4th run comes across, a 2-out base hit for Nomar.
And the RBI, Nomar's 92nd of the year. He's now the league leader with 186 hits. Here's Manny Ramirez, who singled to right to drive in the Red Sox first run. He scored the 3rd run last inning. Jerry mentioned the dominant numbers against Pettitte with the hit, now 25 for 59. That one looked pretty good. Pettitte didn't get the call. And he's thrown 44 pitches already. It's a couple that the Yankee battery thought they had. Now Pettitte glaring in at Joe West. Am I right in saying Joe was the home plate umpire earlier in the year, that game when Brandon Lyon and Pettitte thought they threw the ball right down the middle at the end of the game and didn't get the call?
I think you're right, Sean. Yep.
Ball 4. Very rare that you see Andy Pettitte act demonstrably on the mound, but he's clearly a little agitated right now too. He certainly isn't happy with the way this is going. And Joe West adding to his aggravation a little bit.
It was interesting. Manny's first at bat, he had that one call that he complained about, and that at bat, every call went in Ramirez's direction. Pettitte wanted to know if it was being called the ball because it was too high, and then West said no, because it was outside.
Well, sometimes you wonder why Major League Baseball does this. I mean, Joe West is universally known around baseball. Not a very good umpire. He's very confrontational. And yet here you have, one of the biggest series of the year, and you start the series with Joe West being the home plate umpire. Let's hope we don't have anything like what the Cubs and Cardinals had with the umpires over those 5 games they just played at Wrigley.
That was ugly.
That was ugly. Umpiring much too much a part of that story. It was the Cubs who were most angry with the umpires, and they wound up winning 4 out of the 5 games. David Ortiz singled in a right to knock in a run. He's at 6 homers against the Yankees this year. There's strike 2. 0-2. David is now 14 for his last 25. And has driven in 22 runs in his last 14 games. 1 run in this inning. The Red Sox with 2 more base runners. Garcia Parra at second. And Ramirez at first. With 2 outs. And the 0-2 to Ortiz is low and away. Check swing at a high fastball. Larry Lucchino, Red Sox president and CEO, in attendance on the left of your screen.
Stacy Lucchino. It's like George Mitchell in that second row.
Ortiz strikes out. Red Sox get a run. They strand 2, and after an inning and a half, it's 4-0 Boston.
I'm an electrician, a carpenter, a toilet handle jiggler. I'm a homeowner. I put a lot of hard work into it. Now I want my home to work for me. So I'm calling 1-800-CHAMPION for a home equity loan at today's low rates. Champion Mortgage works with you one-on-one to find the perfect loan. I'll make home improvements, pay off credit cards, hire a professional plumber.
Rates as low as 4%. Get started in just 10 minutes. Call 1-800-CHAMPION today for your free consultation. Champion says yes.
Yet another perfect fit. Introducing the Coca-Cola Fridge Pack. Now that's innovation.
I think that went really well.
I think it was great. I love the first 2 sketches. Send them off by Thursday.
I should get that silver Jaguar.
Is something telling you it's time to get a Jaguar? Presenting the Unleash a Jaguar sales event.
Lease an X-Type for $279 at your New England Jaguar retailer.
Unleash one today.
Some national wireless ads don't really come out and say what they mean. No roaming on our special network? What's that about? And if you're off that special network, it's just 45 cents a minute. We'll put that in tiny type so you won't see it. We'll just surprise you on your bill.
Never pay roaming or long distance with Singular Nation. Plus, you get rollover to protect you against overage charges. And now get a Nokia color screen phone.
I call it my thanks for saying what you mean plan.
Singular Nation with rollover. Another reason why Singular fits you best.
Sean McDonough, Jerry Remy back at Yankee Stadium. Game 1 of a 3-game series, the final regular season series head-to-head for the Red Sox and Yankees in 2003. The Red Sox lead 4-0. They have 6 hits already, all of them singles against Andy Pettitte. Pedro Martinez pitched a 1-2-3 first with 2 strikeouts. He throws ball 1 down and into Jason Giambi. His average way down from where it ordinarily is, 250. 36 homers and 95 runs batted in for Giambi.
And he's really been struggling. Only 1 for his last 29. Red Sox do have the infield shift on him with nobody on base.
Swing and a miss at the changeup, 1-2. Giambi, a career 300 major league hitter. Hit above 300 each of the last 4 years. Swing and a miss. He busted him inside with a fastball. 3 strikeouts in a row for Martinez.
Now, even though that fastball only clocked at 91, there is better life on his fastball tonight than we saw last time he faced the Yankees. At 3 strikeouts total in 4 innings last time out. He's got 3 in a row now in this ball game. That fastball up and in on Giambi.
Even though the Red Sox had the quick lead, you could tell early on that Pedro wasn't himself in that game last Saturday. He looks much different, much better tonight.
Yeah, there was no life on his pitches. There was no location on his pitches last week.
He threw ball 1 to Jorge Posada. Tried to check his swing and could not. 1-1. 273 for Posada. 27 homers, 80 runs batted in. Jorge hit 2 homers for the Yankees. 1 off Martinez and 1 off Young Kim last Saturday at Fenway Park. He had the big day leading them to that 10-7 win. Two and two now.
Speaking of Kim, I don't think you'll see him in a close game in the 9th inning against the Yankees. That's not to say he won't pitch against the Yankees, but I don't think he's a lock to be closer in this series. Yankees have just tore him up.
Swing and a miss. 4 straight strikeouts for Pedro. He's retired the first 5 Yankee hitters of the night.
First 3 strikeouts for Martinez on the fastball. This time it's the curveball to Posada. Down and in off the plate. Posada can't hold up the swing. Really does not have control of the head of the bat. 4 strikeouts in a row for Martinez.
Two outs. The base is empty for Hideki Matsui, hitting .284. 15 home runs and 92 runs batted in. On the ground, a short right at Garcia Parra. Pedro's pitched 2 perfect innings, and after 2, it's 4-0 Boston.
This is where Poland Spring comes from. Freiburg, Hollis, Poland, and Poland Spring. The whole idea is to keep our natural spring sources protected. That way, nature can do what nature does best. Produce what just may be the best tasting water on earth.
Take a chance, make it happen. Pop the cork, fingers snapping. Spin the wheel, round and round we go. Life is good, life is sweet. Grab yourself a front row seat. Let's meet and have a ball. Let's live. Yeah, let's live for the wonder of at Foxwoods.
Welcome to the leather store at Rotman's. We doubled our space, and now New England's largest selection of quality leather. And the values are unbeatable, like this premium Benchcraft all-leather living room with 8-way hand-tied construction and expert craftsmanship. This kind of quality, around $2,000. At Rotman's, $9.99. If you want leather, you've got to see the fantastic new leather store at Rotman's.
An easy drive to I-290 in Worcester. On the web at Rotmans.com.
To do this job, you got to be stronger than the competition.
You got to be accurate. Your performance has to be consistent.
You got to have a solid work ethic.
That's why they say it's built Ford tough.
When it comes to power and performance, everyone knows F-Series is the only game in town. Get into an F-Series with up to $3,000 cash back or 0% financing. Hurry in, because when they're gone, they're gone.
Only at your New England Ford dealer.
Friends, time is running out to cast your ballot for UPN 38's 10th Player Award presented by Bob Stores. Visit any of the Bob Stores to vote for the Red Sox player who's performed beyond expectations, and you could win a new motorcycle from Boston Harley-Davidson, Buell, and Everett. Vote at Bob Stores or online at UPN38.com before the deadline, which is this Monday, September 8th at 5 p.m. Andy Pettitte's first pitch. A strike to Kevin Millar, who struck out swinging in the first. Red Sox batting in the third with a 4-0 lead. They got 3 in the first and 1 in the second. 6 hits and 2 walks allowed by Pettitte. He has struck out 4. And on the hands and pulled foul by Millar. Brian Cashman, right part of your screen, in the box with George Steinbrenner.
George has got a close watch on this game, doesn't he? Put the binoculars out.
You might have needed those binoculars in the elevator tonight. The 2-2 pitch, being on the elevator. There were a couple of young fans on the elevator. One of them standing behind him as he was looking down on the fan with cornrow hairdo. And George said something along the lines of, "What a beautiful young lady." At which time he was told, "No, it's actually a young man." There's a base hit in the left center field for Millar.
It's been a strange season for the Yankees, for Steinbrenner, Joe Torre. There's been, it seems like, more pressure put on Torre through the course of the season. I think there's a little bit of jealousy there. You know, George likes to get the attention when the team wins, and he feels, I think, at times like George has got Torre has got too much of the attention. He's paying him $5 million a year. He's put together a payroll of what, $180 million. It's been an up and down season for the Yankees, and they still have the 3rd best record in baseball
and the best in the American League. Pettitte takes a strike. He singled to left to knock in a run in the first inning. And certainly the boss is a complex man. We mean the boss here, not your pal, the boss, who we're going to see tomorrow night in Fenway Park. How about when he got all over Derek Jeter, apparently saying you should have fewer nighttime activities and be more focused on baseball. Then he goes and does a credit card commercial with Jeter poking fun at that whole thing.
And it's a good commercial too.
Very funny. One ball and 2 strikes now on Pettitte.
That's Derek Jeter, who just saw the shot of him, probably out for the weekend. Strained ribcage muscle that he hurt actually at Fenway Park last weekend. Has not played since that.
A 1-2 pitch to Jason. He struck him out. It's been a strange start for Pettitte, or rather for Pettitte. He strikes out Pettitte. Given up 7 hits, but he's also fanned 5.
Again, Pettitte goes with that cut fastball down and into Pettitte. He got to Millar to strike out on that pitch, and now he gets Pettitte to strike out on that pitch. Millar, of course, in his first at bat.
Here's Nixon, who struck out swinging to end the first as the Red Sox stranded a couple. They left 2 more in the second. Boston leads 4-0. And Nixon hits a bullet toward the gap in right center. Cut off by Williams. On his way to third, Millar. And the Red Sox have first and third. And 1 out. That's 8 singles given up by Pettitte through 2 in the third innings.
And Trot Nixon coming into the game, a .209 hitter against left-handed pitching, and had never had a hit against Andy Pettitte. Well, he does now. He is now 1 for 9 against Pettitte in his career. Well, this start by the Red Sox, 8 hits, 4 runs, has really kept this Yankee Stadium crowd quiet. It's about as quiet as you'll hear this place.
And here's Lou Merlone. Red Sox with a chance to pad the lead. The ball down and in. Lou walked leading off last inning and scored. 4 runs, 8 hits for Boston. No runs, no hits for New York. Neither team has made an error. And a strike over the inside part of the plate. There is action now in the Yankee bullpen. Jeff Weaver has started warming up. Swing and a miss. 1-2. With the 5 strikeouts tonight, Pettitte now has 1,254 for his career. That's 6th all-time in Yankee history. And he needs just 3 more to tie his pitching coach Mel Stottlemyre for 5th place. Maloney stays alive. Here's Mel. A little more difficult job for him this year with the bullpen such as it is for the Yankees. Not good. Another 1-2 to Merlone. Check swing at a ball just outside, perhaps a little bit low.
Andy Pettitte so far has not got the benefit of the doubt on any close pitch, although that pitch, the way Posada caught that thing, did look like it was outside.
The 2-2 from Pettitte is low and away.
And we'll see again if Nixon is going at first base on the 3-2 count and 1 out. As far as a middle infielder, if he's going, you got to make an adjustment. If you can't get the double play, you've got to try to cut that run off at home plate.
Infield at double play depth. The outfield around toward right. They give Merlone some room in left center. Nixon is running, and the pitch is ball 4. And Merlone, the number 9 hitter, walks for the 2nd time in as many plate appearances, and this one loads the bases. And here comes Stottlemyre back to the mound. And the boss does not look happy. Probably can't be much fun to be Brian Cashman on a lot of nights, but particularly on a night like tonight. You have to sit in that box and listen to some of that stuff.
Do you think they dread it when George is in town? It's never comfortable. There's no question about that, but it's going to be awfully uncomfortable when he's sitting there and watching this go on.
So perhaps a chance to knock Pettitte out of the ball game right here for the Red Sox. As they saw last weekend, he can suddenly get a lot better as he goes along. Johnny Damon had a bunt single and scored in the first, grounded out last inning, up for the third time in 3 innings. Down the line, a base hit. Out of the reach of Nick Johnson. Millar has scored. Nixon right behind. Merloni being waved in. The relay from Soriano not in time. 3 runs across for the Red Sox, and Damon winds up at third. It's 7-0.
Everybody in the infield playing in tight. They were playing double play jet in the middle infield, and Johnson was in close to the bag, and he'll have to go across the body, being the left-handed first baseman. Goes across the body, can't come up with it. Once it gets down in that corner, 3 runs for the Red Sox, and the early exit for Randy Pettitte. Millar scores, Nixon scores, and they just keep waving Maloney around. And the Red Sox build up a huge lead here early in this ball game on the triple by Johnny Damon.
And Pettitte departs after 2 1/3 innings, his second shortest outing of the season. He lasted just an inning and 2/3 against the Cubs at Wrigley back in early June. 7-0 Boston. Will return to Yankee Stadium right after this.
Their first fight was a classic. 12 incredible rounds. 2 warriors, 1 winner. Now it's time for redemption. Don't miss Oscar De La Hoya and Shane Mosley in their rematch for the Super Welterweight title. Live on pay-per-view September 13th. De La Hoya, Mosley, redemption. Brought to you by Budweiser.
Where you're going, you'll need stuff like this. And if you expect to graduate in 4 years, you'll need this. Call now and you'll get a PC that works hard and plays hard when you upgrade to a compact Presario with Intel Pentium 4 processor plus monitor and HP color printer. For only $4.99 after rebates, you'll email photos, play games, listen to music, and, oh yeah, do schoolwork. Call today and get free shipping and compact notebooks from $6.99. When it really matters, choose compact.
To right field. Red Sox win it 5-4. He dives and makes the catch. Got him. That ball is up and it is gone. This is a 3-run shot to add the total. The K-Men get busy.
For tickets, call 877-RED Sox 9 and bring the whole family out to Fenway.
It's the unexpected touches that make an anniversary special. The Lincoln Mercury Anniversary Clearance has been extended. Your last chance for end of the model year savings on every remaining 03 Lincoln and Mercury, including our great lineup of SUVs, Lincoln Navigator, the new Lincoln Aviator, and the award-winning Mercury Mountaineer with no-charge leather seating surfaces. Now get 0% APR for 60 months or up to $4,000 cash back, plus your dealer's best model year-end price. Hurry to your New England Lincoln Mercury dealer.
Well, a tough night certainly for Andy Pettitte. 9 hits, 7 runs, still responsible for Johnny Damon at third base. The Red Sox with the 7-0 lead here in the 3rd inning. And Jeff Weaver taking over on the mound. Weaver 7-9 on the season.
And Miller greets him with a line drive, sinking fast. It drops in center for a hit. And the 8th run for the Red Sox. That'll be charged to Pettitte and close the book on him. Miller was 0 for 2 against Andy. That has his first hit of the night and a run batted in, and for Miller that's RBI number 75.
Gets that Weaver breaking ball down and away and just takes it into center field. You see the infield in, the ball drops in front of Bernie Williams, and the beat goes on here early in this game for the Red Sox. What a way to start a huge 3-game series.
It's the most runs given up by Pettitte in a start this year. The 8 runs, matching the 8 runs, but only 4 of them were earned. He gave up in a loss at Seattle back in May. All of them were earned tonight. Damon's triple, the only extra base hit among the 9 hits given up by Pettitte. For the second Friday night in a row, Weaver in early. Last Friday night it was Contreras who got cuffed by the Red Sox and knocked out early. Garcia handles the fly ball from Garcia Parra. Nomar retired for the first time tonight. He's 2 for 3, a couple of singles, an RBI, and a run scored. He homered off Weaver last Friday night.
Another quick look at the stats for Jeff Weaver on the season. Of course, vanished to the bullpen. A ERA of 6.05. Opponent's batting average .320 against Jeff Weaver.
Ramirez after the first one. It's really kind of sad what's happened to this guy since he's come to New York. I mean, if he didn't pitch for the Yankees, you'd be really sad. But
yeah, I don't get it, Sean. I mean, this guy, you know, we saw him pitch in Detroit. We thought he was one of the bright young pitchers. Maybe he's just not made out to pitch here on the big stage.
And he wouldn't be the first about whom that could be said. He's ahead of Ramirez quickly 0-2. Red Sox lead 8-0. Manny with 2 career homers in 16 at bats against Weaver. Weaver gave up 2 homers at Fenway last Friday. Does a good job here. He gets Ramirez to end the inning. But the Red Sox get 4 more to knock out Pettitte. In the 3rd inning, it's 8-0 Boston.
Okay, folks, let's get this party started. Call Seattle. Get McGregor on the phone.
Calling him now.
Morning.
Good morning.
Sir.
This is Scott McGregor. I'll be out of the office all day. Please leave a message.
That's not like McGregor.
McGregor's not there?
Great.
Excuse me, there's a Mr. McGregor here to see you.
Southwest Airlines last-minute fares. If you're paying more than $149 nonstop to Orlando or Tampa Bay, you're paying too much.
You are now free to move about the country.
Hey! That thing got a Hemi, right? Yeah! Well, now I got a Hemi, too! But I got something you don't got. Check this out.
Dodge Ram 1500. The Hemi legend continues.
Grab Dodge's 770 powertrain limited warranty, plus 0% financing or $2,500 cash allowance. Ford, Chevy, and Toyota don't match this.
I didn't want to wrinkle my outfit.
I was in a rush.
I can't find the other half of it.
I always use it for the kids, but not for me.
I take my chances. I don't need them.
I was just going to the corner store.
I don't believe in seatbelts.
I didn't know it was the law.
It doesn't matter what your excuse is. Safety belts are the law in Massachusetts. Click it or ticket. Massachusetts is serious about saving lives.
For every bump that doesn't break you, every turn that doesn't shake you, for every dad that's ever said, "You bet, I'll take you," there's Camry. Could Camry really be that reliable, that safe and dependable? Ask someone you know who drives one.
Get the feeling, get the feeling.
The crowd here at Yankee Stadium stunned as the Red Sox have knocked Andy Pettitte out of the ballgame with 8 runs in 3 innings. And Pedro Martinez has thrown 2 perfect innings. He throws ball 1 to begin the 3rd to Aaron Boone. Pedro has struck out 4, the other 2 outs on ground balls to short. Boone, Garcia, and Wilson, the bottom 3rd coming up. Hit hard right to Bill Miller. Terrific play by Miller. He was in on the edge of the grass for Boone, had to react quickly and did for the first out of the inning.
Boone's another guy that has really struggled since coming to the Yankees. Was having a terrific year with Cincinnati. There's Miller making the catch on the line drive. But Boone, although recently has swung the bat a little bit better, only hitting .207 for the Yankees.
And with only 1 home run now in 112 at bats, he had 18 home runs in half a season for the Reds. More than half a season, 104 games. Here's Kareem Garcia. 1 ball on Garcia, hitting .267, 11 homers, 32 runs driven in. Pedro backs him off the inside corner. 2-0. Garcia had a good day yesterday in their win over Toronto. He went 3 for 4 with a double. And drove into he did not play last Sunday at Fenway Park. He was excused by the Yankees to go to Mexico for the funeral of his aunt. Pop fly drifting toward the seats. Well, what a weekend this is in both cities. Here in New York, Jerry, you have the U.S. Open tennis going on. They've had a lot of problems with rain here trying to get the matches in, but the forecast is delightful for the rest of this weekend. Football season underway. The Jets played last night. Giants will play this weekend. Of course, up in New England, we're all looking forward to the Patriots in Buffalo this weekend, and the added drama now that lawyer Malloy has been let go by the Patriots and joined Buffalo, joined Drew Bledsoe. Red Sox, Yankees, Bruce Springsteen at Fenway Park. What a weekend.
A lot going on.
A lot going on. The Rem Dog with his tailgate party tomorrow night at Fenway.
And you're going to be there, right?
I am. Woof, woof. I will look forward to being there.
And we get the day off tomorrow because it's nationally televised on Fox. And so we'll be flying back. I'll be flying back tomorrow. You're going back tonight.
Down the line, off the bag. Millard barehands it, flips to Martinez for the out. Well, when it's going your way, it's going your way, and it's certainly going the Red Sox way right now. Looked like the Yankees might catch a break when that ball hit the bag and went straight up in the air, but Millard able to barehanded, and Pedro Martinez showed good closing speed here, getting to the bag and just beating Garcia.
That's something you very seldom see when the baseball hits the bag that you recorded out on that play. This Pedro busting into first base, and he, as you mentioned, Sean, really picks up speed to beat Garcia there, and the Red Sox pick up the out. Usually when the ball hits the bag, it's a base hit somewhere.
Yeah, usually a big problem for the team in the field. Wilson hits one high and deep down the right field line, and foul.
You got to be kidding me. Enrique Wilson absolutely wears out Pedro Martinez. 444 batting average against Pedro, and he almost goes deep.
Yeah, that ball's in the upper deck. I mean, that looked like a ball Giambi might hit.
Yeah, that's exactly right. You got to wonder when Pedro's going to have enough of Enrique Wilson. Not fouled by very much either. Third deck.
Enrique grimacing. I might never hit a ball that far again. I don't think he's hit one up there in batting practice.
Enrique with 2 home runs on the season. That's where the big boys hit him up there.
Did one of your 7 go up there?
Not quite. I think mine went over that 385. It just dropped right over the 385 in right center. Off Catfish. And maybe not quite that deep. Maybe it was more to the right.
325 maybe. Or by that 314 down the line. Somehow Catfish still managed to get into the Hall of Fame after that catastrophe.
Incredible.
The 1-2 pitch. Pulled down the right field line again. This time a fair ball. Wilson on his way to second. That really is hard to explain. Pedro Martinez, one of the great pitchers of his generation. Enrique Wilson, a utility player, and when it comes to their one-on-one battles, Wilson has the upper hand.
Yeah, tries to jam him, tries to get that cut fastball inside, and Enrique Wilson clears it out and picks up the base hit. The first hit of the Yankees, and you kind of figured it'd be Enrique Wilson to get that off Pedro.
He's the first base runner for New York. Pedro was perfect for 2 2/3 innings. The Red Sox lead 8-0, bottom of the third, and the batter Alfonso Soriano. He grounded a short. Garcia Parra threw him out a nice play, moving into the hole, throwing on the run, and Millar with a good dig on the other end. Strike outside corner at the knees.
Been a lot of complaining about Soriano not having the type of numbers he did have a year ago, but he's got a bad thumb. And that thing has been bothering him for a long time. Still respectable, 29 home runs on the season. More than respectable. But the average not quite there. He struck out a lot.
Late swing at the fastball. I don't think you complain too much about a second baseman who hits you 29 homers and steals 31 bases.
The only thing that some of the New York media has said that Soriano, after this great success he's had early, is kind of a Cadillac a couple of times, not run balls out hard. And they're looking for Torrey or somebody to kind of jump on him a little bit and say, look, this game's not this easy.
Swing and a miss. Soriano strikes out. And Pedro has fanned 5 in the first 3 innings. 8-0 Boston.
It was fast. We made it faster. It was smart. We made it smarter. Until it was as close to perfect as it's ever come. And that's saying something. Introducing the new, more powerful ES330.
Everyone's excited about our Raynham grand opening promotion.
I'm not surprised. 7 trips for 2 from TNT Vacations.
What a great way to celebrate with all our customers.
We love our customers, and they love our furniture.
And they'll love our newest store, because everybody loves Raynham.
Hey, Phil, they know these vacations are for our customers, right?
Register at any Bernie & Phil's location, including our newest location in Raynham.
That's nice. It's bowling and beyond. It's cage, and it's a blast. A one-of-a-kind place in Boston's Back Bay. Boss bowling, plus billiards, far-out food, and fun. Cruise into Kings. You'll dig it.
For the complete selection of Rolex timepieces, visit Shreve Crump & Lowe, your official Rolex jeweler.
The Kia Sorento just received the government's highest safety rating and was voted #1 in quality. Safety and quality. There's really nothing left for us to say. Except, it is the only SUV with a standard V6 engine, front and side curtain airbags, and a 10-year warranty, all for thousands less than Highlander. Okay, that's all we're going to say.
Friday Night Baseball is brought to you by Bernie & Phil's Furniture. Let our family make your family comfortable. And by Infiniti, makers of innovative high-performance premium vehicles. Pedro Martinez has shut out the Yankees on 1 hit through 3 innings. The Red Sox have scored in every inning. They've knocked Andy Pettitte out of the ball game as he gave up 8 runs on 9 hits and 2 in the 3rd inning. He walked 3 and struck out 5, and Jeff Weaver delivers ball 1 as we go to the 4th. David Ortiz single to right to drive in a run in the 1st. He struck out swinging to end the 2nd. Ortiz, Millar, and Pettitte coming up. Weaver's pitched 2/3 of an inning, has given up 1 hit and has a strikeout. Bounce down to 1st to Nick Johnson, unassisted for the out. Well, it's Friday Night Baseball, and that means we are delighted to be joined by Dan Roach. Roachy.
All right, thank you very much, Sean. And we're delighted to be joined by Stacy Wakefield, the wife of Tim Wakefield. And coming up on Tuesday, September 16th, the Red Sox are holding a Wise fashion show. And in conjunction with that, they're having an online auction. And you can bid on some great things. And Stacy, tell us a little bit about some of the things people can bid on.
We have a lot of items, Red Sox items, one-of-a-kind items. We also have a lot of items from the shops at the Heritage on the Garden that they've donated. One of their items include preferred seating for 2 at the fashion show and luncheon we're hosting from Fenway to the runway on September 16th.
Nice autographed folding chair signed by Theo and Larry and the boys.
Right, and who else? Tom Werner and Grady Little.
Nice. And
leave anyone out.
And how can people get in and bid on this?
Well, the auction started today, and they can log on to www.jimmyfunds.org/Fenway Runway, and that runs through September 12th. And it benefits the Gillette Center for Women's Cancers at Dana-Farber, so it's really for a great cause.
Nice, good, and good luck with it.
Thank you very much.
All right, and Sean and Jerry, she says that she would like as many runs at least when her husband pitches tomorrow against these Yankees. 8 would be nice, she says. Back to you guys.
Yeah, that would be nice, Roachy. Jason Varitek, the batter, after Kevin Millar bounced to 3rd. I think there was enough traffic in that section Roche and Stacy are sitting in?
Very busy. And that gentleman just to the left of Dan, he was booing from the row behind him there.
He was booing
Dan.
Or Stacy.
One of the two.
Varitek strikes out. An easy 1-2-3 inning for Weaver. We go to the bottom of the fourth. 8-0 Red Sox.
Now Meineke provides more services for your car. Like our $14.95 oil change. Meineke Car Care Center. Right service, right price.
At BMW of Peabody, we make sure our certified pre-owned BMWs don't just... The new owners of our certified pre-owned BMWs actually become quite attached to them. Financing available through BMW Financial Services. BMW of Peabody for your certified pre-owned BMW.
If you like to read in bed or you like to watch TV in bed, this is the perfect bed. These are regular high-quality Simmons back hair mattresses that are modified so they can bend in proper places. The doctor tells you to elevate your feet. Here you can push a button and raise your feet. These beds will fit into any headboard and footboard. They're standard size, and you can even set it so you can wake up in the morning to a massage. Today, they're underpriced. They do make sense. They're a value. Why buy a regular bed when you can have a bed that does so much more?
What happens when you double the chunks of chocolate in the world's best chocolate chunk cookie? The world really wants some. Double chocolate chunk cookies from Pepperidge Farm. Never have an ordinary day.
Now Meineke provides more services for your car. Like our $14.95 oil change. Meineke Car Care Center. Right service, right price.
Back at Yankee Stadium, the Red Sox have the 8-0 lead as we go to the bottom of the fourth. Well, family bargain games are back. Tickets still available for the Sox and the Devil Rays, September 15th through the 18th, and most at 25% off. Tickets are available 24 hours a day by calling toll-free 877-RED SOX 9 at redsox.com or during business hours at Fenway Park.
Pedro Martinez pitching with a big lead. It's 8-0 Boston. Bottom of the fourth and a ball low to Nick Johnson. 2, 3, and 4 hitters for the Yankees. Johnson struck out swinging in the first. That was the first of 4 strikeouts in a row for Pedro, who has fanned 5 and allowed just 1 base runner on a double by Enrique Wilson through 3 innings. Johnson, Bernie Williams, and Jason Giambi in the Yankee fourth. The hits of 10-1 for Boston. Out of play to the left. 1-2. Just inside. Red Sox begin the evening with a half-game lead over the Seattle Mariners in the race for the American League wild card. The Mariners are at Baltimore tonight, and that game is scoreless in the 4th inning. Swing and a miss. Johnson strikes out. That's 6 strikeouts for Pedro, and back-to-back strikeouts as he got Soriano to win the 3rd.
And the good sign for Pedro that the majority of his strikeouts so far in this game have been on the fastball, so certainly a great indication that Pedro obviously feeling better. The strength back is in his arm because that fastball has a bit more life on it than even in his last 2 outings.
Bernie Williams takes a changeup low. Bernie called out on strikes to end the first. All the other strikeouts have been swinging 3rd strikes for Pedro. (2-0) for Bernie Williams. The starting pitchers at Baltimore tonight: Gil Mesh for Seattle, with a record of 14-10, and Jason Johnson, the big right-hander, 10-6 for Baltimore. Williams hits it in the air and pretty well to left. Manny was in pretty shallow, a long way back, and he makes the catch.
Manny, 2 outs. Manny,
and Manny thinks it's the third out. He caught the ball and flipped it into the crowd, and a little bit embarrassed with that sheepish grin. Held up the 2 fingers toward the umpire, and Pedro trying to suppress a laugh.
Well, Manny's just being Manny, as we like to say. He makes a great play on this. He had a long way to go back to the wall, makes a terrific play, and then thinking that's the third out, will just fire the ball up into the stands. He's got his head down running back in, and everybody in the ballpark, with the exception of Manny, knows there's 2 outs.
Well, you can laugh when it's 8-0. Giambi hits it a long way. Manny's pretty sure that's the third out. A 1, 2, 3, perhaps 4, 5 inning. After 4, 8-0 Red Sox.
Their first fight was a classic. 12 incredible rounds. 2 warriors, 1 winner. Now it's time for redemption. Don't miss Oscar De La Hoya and Shane Mosley in their rematch for the Super Welterweight title. Live on pay-per-view September 13th. De La Hoya, Mosley, redemption. Brought to you by Budweiser.
Husband and I are looking at Ford Taurus.
Oh, you'll love all the room.
It has the most passenger room in its class.
And it's a great value with a personal safety system.
Well, we thought the quadruple 5-star safety rating was key.
The price sold us. Taurus is thousands less than Camry or Accord.
We're saving over $6,700 in finance charges.
Seriously?
0 financing for 72 months plus $1,000 bonus cash or up to $4,000 cash back.
Look again at the best-selling brand of cars and trucks in New England, only at your New England Ford dealer. These people did.
My name's Peter Iannelli. I'm a commercial tire salesman.
My name is Sabrina Camphouse, and I'm a Blue Health Coach.
My blood sugar was at over 200, which is unhealthy.
This program changes people's lives.
Every facet of my life, Sabrina's been able to put some input in, and the important thing is I'm hearing it every week.
We set some really achievable goals. We made some changes to his diet, some changes to his activity.
I do salads now, which I never did before, and I get out of my truck every day and I walk.
And he saw those numbers come down, and I think he's managing it well now.
The 2 of us are working together to improve my situation.
This fall, UPN 38 is dealing Boston a comedy royal flush.
Smell me. Are you serious?
The deck is stacked weeknights at 6 and 7 with a king, a queen, and some real jokers.
Do crafts, not drugs.
Everybody dance now! We're upping the ante with 3 of a kind.
Not getting that.
And a full house.
What are you laughing at?
It's a comedy royal flush. The King of Queens and That 70s Show. Weeknights at 6 and 7 only on UPN 38.
Why is Toyota the best value? Find out at your New England Toyota dealer.
Red Sox lead 8-0. Pedro and Manny still all cracked up over the confusion and the number of outs. Tron Nixon leads off the 5th against Jeff Weaver with a swing and a miss for strike 1. Nixon struck out down the 1st. He singled and scored in the 4-run 3rd. Right off the end of the bat. Well, they're certainly enjoying this tonight in Randolph. It's the big hits on the big screen event going on tonight. 400 lucky contest winners are watching this Red Sox-Yankees rivalry on the big screen at Showcase Cinema. The theater's been outfitted to look like Fenway Park for 2 MCs there tonight. Nixon strikes out. Our pals, Nightcast co-anchors Sarah Underwood and Ted Wayman. They have to be having a great time tonight. What a great way to watch a ball game anyway. I don't know, though, if the on-camera part they like. Imagine the 2 of us.
That big screen.
On a big screen.
Ooh.
We're not exactly oil paintings. And when HD TV comes out, Jerry, we're going to have to finally give in and go for the makeup.
I can't do it. I can't do it. They're gonna have to shoot us from center field. I just can't go to the makeup.
No,
I can't do it. The only guy that's going to look all right is Wally. He looks the same all the time.
HDTV, all of our imperfections, as we say,
but that's why
are
they like
really going to show up.
That's why people, I mean, you are what you are, right?
That's exactly right. Remember one time I was doing a network TV game, big game, bowl game. They had a makeup artist come, and I said, what's the point of this, you know? Kind of like putting a dress on a pig, you know? You only make it look so good.
I mean, if you cared, you'd have had a rug about 5-6 years ago. I mean, a system.
A system. I think there was an announcer on Monday Night Football last night who had a system.
I think you're right.
And it wasn't Lisa Guerrero. Maloney has already walked twice. That was against Andy Pettitte, and he's battled to a full count. Lewis scored twice as well.
You're afraid of Lou tonight. 2 walks on the count to 3-2.
And he hits it hard and through the left side. So Weaver had retired 6 in a row. Before that base hit, he gave up a hit to the first man he faced, Miller, but then put down 6 Red Sox batters before this 1-out single here in the 5th inning.
It's interesting, you know, prior to Lou getting here, Damian Jackson was getting a lot of the starts at second base against left-handers. Now, of course, it's Maloney getting quite a bit of time over there. You got to wonder how that sits with Jackson, who's really been here all season. But they kind of keeping him as a late in the game guy to go in and steal on base, maybe play defense for you.
Johnny Damon got under that one just a little bit. Bernie Williams calls off Garcia to make the catch. Damon's now 2 for 4. He had the big hit that knocked out Andy Pettitte, a 3-run triple in the 3rd inning.
Well, the Red Sox will team up with the American Red Cross and Beth Israel Deaconess Medical Center to host a blood drive September 11th at Fenway Park. The drive will run from 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. in the 406 Club. Donors receive a Red Sox gift bag, be entertained by Red Sox personalities while they wait. You can help support Save Lives, so please join us September 11th supporting the important effort.
That is the Red Sox way of commemorating the awful events of September 11th of 2 years ago. And what better way to remember the folks who lost their lives than to do something to help save lives. Bill Miller, the batter.
That's amazing, Sean. I have a room here at the hotel that we stay at, and as I look out my window,
it's called a suite, Jerry. Don't be modest. It's a suite.
Well, whatever it is. Anyway, I look south, and where the Twin Towers used to stand, it's just an eerie, you know, feeling looking down in that direction
and not seeing the towers.
Exactly. It's amazing.
3-0 the count on Miller. Of course, out in Monument Park, there's a commemorative plaque with the Yankee fans who filed through. Know that those dreadful events and the way New York has responded so valiantly will never be forgotten. Miller walks. It's the first walk given up by Weaver. And the Red Sox will try to get something done with 2 outs. Maloney at second and Miller at first. And the batter is Nomar Garcia-Parra. 2 singles and a fly ball to right for Nomar. He scored after an infield hit in the first. He singled to left to drive in a run in the second. Red Sox lead 8-0. They have 11 hits to the Yankees 1. A win tonight would get them within 2.5 of the Yankees in the American League East, with 2 games left here this weekend. The last 2 head-to-head for the Red Sox and the Yankees. Roger Clemens and Tim Wakefield, the starting pitchers here tomorrow. David Wells and Jeff Suppan on Sunday. Nomar had a big swing but didn't get all of that one. A routine fly to left handled by Matsui. To end the inning, the Red Sox strand 2. They've left 7, but halfway through the ball game they lead 8-0.
These everyday low fares to your favorite vacation destinations start at just $49.
You are now free to move about the country.
The Nokia 3300 from Singular, amazing. This keyboard makes text messaging so easy, so fast, it's just like talking. Plus, I can download and play MP3s. With this, I got my friends and my music with me. All the time.
Singular brings you the Nokia 3300, text messaging, an MP3 player, and a phone all in one. And right now, it's just $99.99.
I call it my phone.
The new Nokia 3300, another reason to come in and see why Singular fits you best.
Like summer, the 2003 model year is coming to an end, but there's still time to get great deals on an 03 Jeep Liberty. Choose from 0% financing for 60 months or a $1,000 cash allowance. Plus, get our 7-year, 70,000-mile powertrain limited warranty. What are you waiting for? We're clearing out the 2003s. Hurry to your Jeep dealer today.
Hello, I'm Gordon Elliott, and I've brought you lunch. Yeah? New Campbell's chunky soup in microwavable bowls.
Dude, you're a little late.
Don't tell me you've had takeout again. Hey, Gordon. Michael, how did you beat me here?
Mike is known for his speed.
Introducing Campbell's Chunky, now in microwavable bowls. With big chunks of meat and veggies to fill you up right.
We gotta go. We go.
You'll get the hang of it, rookie.
Wherever, whenever. Make it Campbell's instead.
Sean McDonough, Jerry Remy, and Dan Roach at Yankee Stadium. Very quiet, relatively speaking, tonight. The Red Sox got 3 runs in the first to jump out to the quick lead. They now lead 8-0 as we go to the bottom of the 5th. The Yankees have had just 1 base runner against Pedro Martinez on a 2-out double by Enrique Wilson in the 3rd. It'll be Jorge Posada to begin the 5th inning, then Hideki Matsui and Aaron Boone. Breaking ball for strike 1 to Posada, who struck out swinging in the 2nd. Pedro has struck out 6. Change-up swung on and missed. Meanwhile, down in Baltimore, the Orioles have taken a 1-0 lead over Seattle in the 5th inning. Seattle having a dreadful time scoring runs.
Now this week, Sean, has really been what the Red Sox have kind of been about all season long. They lose the 2 out of 3 to the Yankees at Fenway Park. They go for a tough game in that makeup game. They win that one, go on to Chicago, beat them 2 games.
Ground ball and a base hit to the left by Posada. Here's Dan Roach.
All right, so thank you very much, Sean. We're joined by Red Sox President and CEO Larry Lucchino. And Larry, other than that Posada single, things are looking pretty good tonight.
Yes, Pedro looks, I don't want to jinx him here, but he looks like vintage old Pedro, and it's a great night here thus far. But it's only the 5th inning, Dan. Let's cool our jets until it's over.
What'd you think of your left fielder being your left fielder on the fly ball there?
Yeah, well, we missed the first catch here and the hug in the outfield. We could people were standing around us, so we had trouble seeing it. But he's got a couple of hits and a walk, and he's certainly contributing tonight.
Larry, Kevin Millar told me before the game that maybe the way things worked out with the Manny situation, the way it was handled from top to bottom, that it might end up being a good thing as we watch a potential double play here. What are your thoughts on what we saw in the way everything worked out with Manny?
Well, I think Grady Little had a very good week. I think he handled the matter very well. I think he knew he had the support of the front office, and I think it's just time to move on. I think that's, in all fairness, that's yesterday's news.
Let's talk a little bit about the other boss coming to Fenway Park tomorrow. The Rem Dog officially inviting you to his party atop the Green Monster tomorrow. You and Stacy, you in?
Oh, really? Oh, it's a little late, Rem Dog. I mean, come on. What are we doing here? Like, now what's it? Less than 24 hours before. But yes, we'll come. We'll go anywhere we're invited.
You're not going to stay here with the other boss, are you?
No, actually, I'm going to go. Stacy and I are going to go back tomorrow to be at the concert tomorrow night.
So we're in enemy territory. No parting shots to the evil empire?
No. Although I did call Randy Levine today, the president of the Yankees, to inquire about a matter, and he knew it was me on the line, and he picked up the phone and said, "Evil Empire," which I thought showed a nice sense of humor.
Larry, thanks, and good luck the rest of the way.
Thanks, Dan.
Sean, Jerry, back to you guys.
Thank you, Rochi and Larry Lucchino. These Yankee folks aren't laughing right now.
No. No, the boss was
here would be tested when it's 8-0. Aaron Boone, the batter. Hideki Matsui grounded out to first. The Red Sox tried to go for the double play when Millar threw down to second base, but was offline. So Posada made it to second. With one out, 8-0 Boston, 5th inning. Boone lined sharply to the third baseman Miller in his first at bat. He pulls one sharply foul. Are you gonna have enough room up there in the Green Monster seats for all the people you keep inviting?
Oh, sure. There's plenty of room. If not, we can do it in shifts.
You've invited everybody you've come in contact with over the last 2 weeks.
We'll be fine. We got plenty of room. Should be a lot of fun. Looking forward to it tomorrow. I know they've done a lot of work on this thing back in Boston. And I tell you, the people are excited to see the Boss the next 2 nights at Fenway Park.
Very excited. Check swinging a foul ball. Now, any chance the Boss might come by our little tailgate
I don't know.
and say hello? I mean, I know before a show is probably focused.
It's kind of like players, you know, they have their certain routine. I mean, you never know. It's possible, but our people could not really be in contact with his people and try to square that down. So, you know, who knows? You never know. As long as you're there, it doesn't matter.
Good try, but I'm not going for that. Boone pops into the upper deck. Now, what are you going to do? You're going to take your private jet back or have your driver take you back and forth?
I have a couple of options. I'm going to obviously fly back in the afternoon, and the option is to take a limo back after the concert or catch the last shuttle, one of the two. So we'll see.
You're not a catch the last shuttle kind of guy, Jerry.
We'll see how it goes.
You're a limo kind of guy. 1-2 pitch, and he just does stay alive.
Actually, our whole crew is going back. Mike Narachi's going to go back, and Greg Petranzio. Pat Cavanaugh can't get back. But all the guys we work with day in and day out are going to come back to Boston.
Why can't Pat Cavanaugh go?
He's got a lot of preparation work to do for Sunday's game, according to him. Sounds kind of fishy to me, but
since that's obviously nonsense, that has me wondering exactly what the real story is. Swing and a miss. Boone strikes out. 7 strikeouts for Pedro. He's had at least one in every inning.
Curveball this time doing the honors for Pedro Martinez. All his pitches working tonight. His fastball, his curveball, and also the changeup. I'll get a chance too. I'd like to say happy. You hear me refer to the oil baron on occasion from Cambridge.
Yes.
Frank Riley and his wife Dot celebrating their 50th anniversary. So congratulations to the oil baron and the oil baroness.
A little easier to stay married when you're married to an oil baron.
Exactly. And he can't be there tomorrow because it is his 50th anniversary, but he was invited also. I invite everybody. Everybody I go by, I invite.
Wouldn't that be a nice way to
celebrate it? Yeah.
Celebrate, bring her to the show.
I think he promised her an around the world, like on his private jet kind of, like a surprise to her. They're going to go to like Italy and then France and everywhere. And so we'll see how it turns out. But the guy's got tons of money. He's a big oil man in Cambridge.
And I didn't know there were oil wells in Cambridge. Where are they drilling? Kendall Square?
In his backyard.
Garcia behind in the count 0-2. He swung at one about ankle high. The elicited a groan from the crowd here. He hit that ball down the first baseline in the 3rd inning that struck the bag, went up in the air. Millar fielded it with a bare hand and flipped to Martinez on a bang-bang play for the out. Red Sox 8, Yankees nothing. Wanted the high fastball, and Garcia just got it. Of course, last Friday night, Red Sox with a big win to start that series, and you think with Pedro going on Saturday, here's the chance to really make the move on the Yankees. And That loss looked like it might send the Red Sox in the wrong direction. The whole Manny situation flared up. The Red Sox lost the last two and actually lost ground to the Yankees in the standings. But made some up during the week, and they're in good shape to make some up tonight. Martinez strikes out Garcia, and after 5, it's 8-0 Boston.
After years of analyzing, refining, and perfecting, Lexus engineers had to face the most difficult challenge of all: letting go. Introducing the new, more powerful ES330.
Try a delicious breakfast sandwich on a freshly baked bagel from Dunkin' Donuts. It's just the thing you've been waiting for. Stop by today for any one of our delicious breakfast sandwiches, including the new sourdough bagel sandwich for just $1.99. Just the thing.
South Station, please. Oh, sorry. Hi, I'm trying to pick a health plan for my company. Who do you have?
Well, my company picked Tufts Health Plan.
Oh, how come?
To get access to the best care.
Oh, that's key.
Yeah, I gotta have the best care for my kids.
Yeah, do only rich people use that plan, or?
Oh, no. They have options that work in every budget. Now, maybe that's why they're the highest in member satisfaction again.
I knew that. All right. You're so great. Hi. Thank you.
Tufts Health Plan. No one does more to keep you healthy.
It's the unexpected touches that make an anniversary special. The Lincoln Mercury Anniversary Clearance has been extended. Your last chance for end-of-the-model year savings on every remaining 03 Lincoln and Mercury, including our great lineup of SUVs, Lincoln Navigator, the new Lincoln Aviator, and the award-winning Mercury Mountaineer with no-charge leather seating surfaces. Now get 0% APR for 60 months or up to $4,000 cash back, plus your dealer's best model year-end price. Hurry to your New England Lincoln Mercury dealer.
Red Sox baseball is brought to you by Budweiser. The best things in life are the things that are true. Budweiser. And Red Sox baseball rolls along on this Friday night from Yankee Stadium. 8-0 Red Sox. They scored 3 in the first, 1 in the second, and 4 in the third to knock Andy Pettitte out of the ballgame. Jeff Weaver's pitched very well. 2 2/3 innings of scoreless relief. And his first pitch of the 6th, the strike to Manny Ramirez. Manny singled to knock in a run in the first and scored. Walked and was stranded in the second and was called out on strikes to end the third. That strikeout was against Weaver. The hit and walk against Pettitte. Tuned in late, Pettitte lasted just 2 1/3 innings. Gave up 8 earned runs on 9 hits and 3 walks. He struck out 5 through 70 pitches. Red Sox got 3 runs on 5 singles in the first inning. They scored a single run in the second. Merlone, a leadoff walk, advanced in a ground out and scored in a single by Nomar Garcia-Parra. And then 4 runs for Boston in the third. They loaded the bases for Johnny Damon with 1 out, and Johnny tripled down the right field line. And then he scored in a single by Bill Miller. A triple knocked out Andy Pettitte. Red Sox trying to run their record to 4-0 on this road trip. 1 in Philadelphia in the makeup game. Won both games in Chicago. And lead tonight 8-0. 2 games to play here and then on to Baltimore.
And David Ortiz put on quite a show in that series in Chicago. The 2 home runs and pulling one, going to the opposite field with the other.
Two-2 pitch. Manny in a protective mode, lined it. Nice catch by the attendant down by the right field tarp. There's a line drive. That young man caught it. And emulating Manny, he flipped the ball into the stands. dugout. It was interesting to hear Dan Roach's conversation with Larry Lucchino, and I think, Jerry, you have to give the Red Sox high marks for the way they handled that whole situation with Manny. I think the one-day benching sent a message. Most importantly, the other members of the team.
Yeah. More importantly, you're exactly right, Sean. You know, there were a lot of guys that were very upset with what was going on. And, of course, the last thing the manager wants to do is take one of his best players out of the lineup. But when you have grumbling going on with the remainder of the guys who are out there busting their tail, you have no choice but to do it. The only question was how long was it going to last, and I think it was perfect because he got his message across. He got a great player back in the lineup, and you didn't have to deal with it with an off day and coming in here to New York. And the key there is, as Dan mentioned, the support from the front office. That's so important, because if a manager doesn't have that, you can't do things like he did.
And we've seen that in the past. You know, when Carl Everett would behave in an inappropriate manner and Jimmy Williams tried to deal with it, he didn't always have the backing of his baseball administration and ownership. Hit hard, a backhand stopped by Wilson, and the stretch by Johnson. Nice play. That might have been the hardest hit ball of the night by the Red Sox, and Ramirez retired 6-3.
Enrique Wilson taking a base hit away from Manny. He does it with the bat against Pedro. Now he does it with the glove against Manny. Seems like the Yankees always have that one utility guy. For many years it was Luis Sojo.
He's back.
And he's back. Yeah, he's back with the Yankees.
He was managing in their minor league system and came out of retirement. I mean, he's older than you.
Somewhere along the line he'll get a big hit for him.
Ortiz trying to send one into the gap, and he will. 3 bounces to the left of the 385 mark, and Ortiz has another multiple hit night. He's 2 for 4 with a single and a 1-out double.
When do they name player of the week? I mean, that has to come up, what, on Sunday or Monday?
Yeah, Monday, I believe.
I mean, he's got to be the player of the week. 2 more hits tonight, an RBI tonight. This line drive into the gap for the easy stand-up double. Doesn't matter to him now, right-hander, left-hander, he's hitting everybody.
I guess the one thing nobody can figure out is how could the Minnesota Twins let this guy go?
He's not a bad guy.
No, he's a good guy. He wasn't a high salaried player. He was a productive player, a guy who hits for power on a team that doesn't have a lot of power in Minnesota.
Everything we hear about him with Minnesota, he was a great guy to have in the clubhouse. We've seen evidence of that here with the Red Sox.
Apparently it was a chance meeting reading Bob Holler's article in the Globe today. He ran into Pedro in the Dominican the offseason, mentioned his situation. Pedro picked up the phone and called Red Sox brass, said they needed to get Ortiz to Boston. Millar thrown out, and Ortiz with some good base running moves into third.
And now Ortiz shows you that blazing speed as he heads into third base. He made an actually nice read on that, because once the ground ball goes toward the third baseman, he could get a big lead off second base, and as soon as the throw goes across the diamond, he doesn't have very far to go. Here's Aaron Boone. He doesn't even look back Ortiz. So Ortiz is way off that second base bag, and no chance for Nick Johnson. As Ortiz gets to third base with the 2 outs. Always better there, obviously, scoring a wild pitch, pass ball, error, a number of different ways.
Should Boone have actually at least taken a peek?
Always take a peek back. Sometimes that's just enough to hold that runner. You take a look at him, he goes back a couple of steps, and that's the end of it.
Two outs. Ortiz at third. 8-0 Boston in the 6th. 1 ball to count on Jason Varitek. Jason singled to drive in the 3rd and final run of the 1st inning, and has struck out twice since. Once against Pettitte, once against Weaver. Red Sox out hitting New York 12-2. Neither team has committed an error. Line to left and a base hit, and another run for Boston. And that was a big play on the base running, Jerry, because he probably doesn't score from second on that line drive in a left right at Matsui.
Exactly right. Does not run all that well, and of course that ball hit hard by Veritek, and they probably would have had to hold Ortiz at third base. Veritek, ball down and away again. Excellent hitting. Not trying to pull the ball. Take it to the opposite field. Red Sox pick up their 9th run.
Veritek's second RBI of the night, giving him 82 for the year. That's the first run they've scored tonight against Jeff Weaver, who's given up 4 hits. Nixon checked his swing. Weaver throws him out. Trout now 1 for 4. That ends the inning. A run on 2 hits in the 6th for Boston. It's 9-0.
Thanks for letting me bring Fifi.
Oh, anything for you, baby. I'd give you the moon, the stars, and the ultimate love potion. Ice cold Bud Light.
For the great taste that won't fill you up and never lets you down, make it a Bud Light.
Don't worry, I got him.
Ooh. It's bowling and beyond. It's cage, and it's a blast. A one-of-a-kind place in Boston's Back Bay. Boss bowling, plus billiards, far-out food, and fun. Cruise into Kings. You'll dig it.
Honey, should we get the blue Jaguar or the green one?
Is something telling you it's time to get a Jaguar? Presenting the Unleash a Jaguar sales event.
Lexan S-Type for $4.99. Your New England Jaguar retailer. Unleash one today.
My name's Peter Iannelli. I'm a commercial tire salesman.
My name is Sabrina Camphouse, and I'm a Blue Health Coach.
My blood sugar was at over 200, which is unhealthy.
This program changes people's lives.
Every facet of my life, Sabrina's been able to put some input in, and the important thing is I'm hearing it every week.
We set some really achievable goals. We made some changes to his diet, some changes to his activity.
I do salads now, which I never did before, and I get out of my truck every day and I walk.
And he saw those numbers come down, and I think he's managing it well now.
The two of us are working together to improve my situation.
Now this is what you call a luxury box.
Welcome back to Yankee Stadium. As the video highlights show you, it has been all Red Sox tonight. A 9-0 lead in the 6th inning. Enrique Wilson, the leadoff man against Pedro Martinez. He has one of the 2 hits against Pedro, a double. Back in the 3rd. They've had only 2 base runners. Wilson a double and Posada a single. Wilson in the top of the order. Soriano and Johnson due up. Backdoor strike, 1-2 on Enrique Wilson. Of course, he was at the center of that story with Manny last week. He was the Yankee player with whom Manny was socializing. They're very good friends. Enrique Wilson says that Manny might be his closest friend in baseball. Apparently, when Wilson came to the Cleveland Indians, Manny really took him under his wing. And they're even weighing in on this whole thing from the West Coast. You see Carlos Baerga and Shea Hillenbrand commented in a story that was on the wire today.
I didn't see that.
We can give you some of the cliff notes as we go. 2-2 pitch just inside. Baerga, of course, played with Manny in Boston and Cleveland. He says they still talk about twice a week. Line, of course, a hit for Wilson against Martinez. And it's going to be another double as Nixon plays it out of the corner. So he has 2 of the 3 Yankee hits. Pedro just smiles. What can you do? He knows the drill. This guy is a major thorn in his side.
He throws him a changeup this time, and it's a good changeup. But Enrique Wilson goes right down below the knees, picks it off the ground, and drops it in for a base hit. When a guy does that to you, the way he's hit you throughout his career, there's nothing you can do but smile. He tried every possible pitch he has against Wilson, and Wilson continues to get hits. Look at that, 10 for 20 against Pedro.
Well, years from now, we sit around the grandchildren. Pedro Martinez, he wasn't anything. I own that guy.
And he'll be exactly right, too. He won't be lying.
Soriano hits one in the air a long way in right center. And off the wall on a hop. That'll spoil the shutout bid as Wilson's around to score to make it 9-1.
Soriano is a guy who's had very little success against Pedro. 107 coming into the game, 0 for 2 prior to this at bat, but he gets the cut fastball away and puts it in that gap to the 385. So back-to-back doubles. The Yankees finally get on the board and give the stadium crowd something to cheer about.
31 doubles, 74 RBIs now for Soriano. Nick Johnson looks at the ball. Carlos Baerga, by the way, asked in this article, you were sick but you can't go to a restaurant with one of your friends? I'm so I'll clean it up, upset at that team. They're making it so big, said Baerga. Actually, it's kind of ancient history now, you would think. Shea Hillenbrand, who continues to comment on every subject from nearly 3,000 miles away. With all this riffraff going on, says Shea, he doesn't care about anything, he being Manny. He's 30, 31 years old. He doesn't need to be disciplined. Johnson, a swing and a miss, 2-1. Shea, as has been his stance since he left, blames, of course, the media for this. The fact that Manny's teammates were also upset apparently doesn't enter into it. 3-1 the count on Johnson.
And that's it, huh? That's basically it.
Oh, no. Well, Shea especially has got plenty more. Broken bat, grounder down the line, foul.
Pedro tonight against Johnson is really trying to keep the ball inside. Johnson's one of those guys that likes to extend his arms. He had a good game last time against Pedro. Pedro consistently has been trying to jam him tonight. That ball inside, the broken bat, which heads out toward the mound, but the ball foul.
So a new bat for Johnson, a full count. The Yankees trying to chip away at this huge deficit. They have one run in here in the sixth. They're still down 9-1. With Soriano at second and nobody out. Bernie Williams on deck, and Johnson lofts it to right. Nixon is there. Soriano's not tagging. He went back after the catch was made. One out.
Get some more for us,
Oh, no. I mean, I'm glad that every week we can read Shea Hillenbrand's reflections about his time in Boston. He said the Boston media is loony, and you can put that in quotation marks. The Boston media is loony. Remember anybody in the media giving him a hard time when he was in Boston?
Actually, I thought his relationship was very good with the media while he was here, and also the fans. He's a very popular player. I don't know. Really didn't matter, does it?
Shea's also taken some shots from time to time at some of his former teammates. They're talking about how in the past he's talked about how no one really did much to help him. And in this article, he talks about how Carl Everett and Manny were the only two to take me under their wing in Boston. The only two who ever taught me how to play when I came up.
Did he forget Jimmy Williams?
I guess he meant among the players.
Among the players?
But he did go on to say a couple of other guys helped too. Troy O'Leary and Darren Lewis. But other than that, Manny was one of those guys who took the initiative to make me feel comfortable.
Well, it is true. I mean, that is true, that
yes.
He and Manny were very close, and he and Everett were also very close. I can't imagine there weren't other guys that also tried to help him along. Especially when he started with the Red Sox. Wasn't expected to be on the team. Jimmy gave him that third base job. But the fact that he was very close to Manny, and he was very close to Carl Everett at different times when they were with the Red Sox.
Brooks Robinson, Shea Hillenbrand concluded by saying, it's a disgrace that this has to be exploited, that the Red Sox bench him and say their best lineup is without him. That's not Grady Little at all. It's obvious to everybody that that's not the right thing to do. You can't say that your best lineup is without Manny Ramirez. I've been there the last 2.5 years. That's not their best lineup.
Well, we all knew that. I mean, we knew that obviously when he said that, he was not putting his best lineup out there because
on that particular day, he thought it gave him the best chance to win, and in fact, they did win.
Yeah, they did win, and it was just a way of, without saying he's being punished or putting the time out, it was his way of saying that, you know, this is what we're going to do for a day. I mean, it's unbelievable that we're in September in a pennant race for not only a division but a wild card, and this stuff continues to go on. You know, it's done now by 2 days.
Yes. I'm just glad that Shea still cares. 3-2 the count on Williams. And he walks. That's the first walk of the night given up by Martinez. There is no action in the Red Sox bullpen. Here's Jason Giambi. He continues mired in that lengthy slump. 0 for 2 tonight with a strikeout and a fly ball to left. 1 for his last 31. And 1 strike in on Giambi. Included in this stretch was an 0 for 25 that he snapped with a home run in their loss Wednesday at Toronto. That was the longest hitless stretch of his career. In the dirt and stopped by Pettitte. A ball and a strike on Giambi. And 2 strikes now.
Still good life on that fastball. 93 from Pedro with some movement. Threw it inside. Came back on the Giambi.
He's batting with runners at first and second. Soriano at second. Williams at first. They have good speed on the bases. 1-2 pitch inside. Jorge Posada is on deck. Pedro working slowly here in the 6th inning. The 2-2 pitch, he struck him out with a changeup in the dirt. Giambi hears some boos. That's 9 strikeouts now for Pedro.
Struck him out with a fastball back in the second inning. That time he gets him to chase the changeup. Giambi really having a tough time. And he's too good a player, too good a hitter to have this type of slump. And it seems like how Giambi goes, obviously, he's a huge part of this Yankee offense. The Yankee offense has been having a tough time scoring runs.
Well, the Red Sox in the race for the East with the Yankees, and the wild card with Seattle. And each of those teams, their key hitter is in a remarkable slump now. Giambi and Ichiro. There's Posada, who has struck out and singled. Here's one of the 4 Yankee hits. Red Sox lead 9-1. They're out hitting New York 13-4. The ball outside. 93 pitches now for Pedro. Terrific bounce back performance by Pedro Martinez tonight against the team that has given him a very tough time. Posada to the left, a routine fly for Manny, drifting over near the line. That ends the inning. New York gets just 1, and after 6, it's 9-1 Boston.
Okay, folks, let's get this party started. Call Seattle. Get McGregor on the phone.
Calling him now.
Morning. Good morning.
This is Scott McGregor. I'll be out of the office all day. Please leave a message.
That's not like McGregor.
McGregor's not there?
Great.
Excuse me, there's a Mr. McGregor here to see you.
Southwest Airlines last-minute fares. If you're paying more than $149 nonstop to Orlando or Tampa Bay, you're paying too much.
You are now free to move about the country.
To do this job, you gotta be stronger than the competition.
You gotta be accurate. Your performance has to be consistent.
You gotta have a solid work ethic.
That's why they say it's built Ford tough.
When it comes to power and performance, everyone knows F-150 is the only game in town. Introducing the next Ford F-150. Now with more power and more torque than any other truck in its class. Only one truck has earned the right to be the next F-150.
Only at your New England Ford dealer. Where's the Coke?
Check the pantry.
Cold Coke. Mom, where's the Coke?
Ask your father.
Mom, there's no...
Introducing the Coca-Cola Fridge Pack. Now it's easier to get what you want. Ice cold Coke.
Friday Night Baseball is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. More than 2,700 nonstop daily flights to 59 destinations all across the country. And by Honda. Experience the stylish all-new 2003 Honda Accord now at your local Honda dealer. Can I ask you a question about that, Jerry? You're wicked smart. Lou Merlone takes a strike. The stylish all-new. And there's a new catcher, John Flaherty. Stylish all-new 2003 Honda Accord. I'm sure it's stylish, and it's a wonderful vehicle.
It's all new.
Is it still all new as a 2003?
Yeah, it could be one that just came off the assembly line.
It could be. Well, we're not going to sell you an all-new used one, but Merlone cranks one to deep left. What a night he is having. That one's over the head of Matsui. And Framingham Lou is into second with a double. And the Red Sox fans chant his name. He has walked twice, singled, and doubled.
Lou Merlone gets that inside fastball from Weaver and up over the head of Matsui. Short hops the fence out there in front of that Yankee bullpen. Actually, that's the Red Sox bullpen up past the whatever that section is. What is that? What do they call that? What do they call that section out there?
Monument Park?
Yeah, that's it. Mm-hmm. So that's where the ball ended up. See, here's the Red Sox bullpen. This is the area I'm talking about here. Monument Park.
You can sit in Monument Park and watch the game.
I think that's something new.
Damon pops it up near second base. And Enrique Wilson the catch. Red Sox fans, how about this weekend of sports? UPN 38 and WBZ4 will have it all covered tomorrow night on WBZ4. It's Patriots kickoff, a half-hour season preview. Then on Sunday at 11:30 a.m. on WBZ, it's Patriots game day, followed by the big Patriots-Bills game in Buffalo at 1 o'clock. Right after this and every Patriots game, tune in for Patriots 5th quarter this week on UPN 38. And the big weekend of sports wraps up with the Red Sox this week at 10:30 on UPN 38 and Sports Final on WBZ. You got all that, Jerry?
That's a full day of action.
A full weekend. Well, how about your prediction? A couple of years ago, when very few people expected anything of the Patriots, I believe you said 10 wins, and that's exactly what they got.
I think last year I said 9, didn't I?
And that's what they had.
Watching the game last night, the Jets, they have some troubles. Miami should be very good, right?
Yes.
I'm going to say 11 wins this year.
11 wins.
11 wins.
We'll take that to the bank. You've been right on the number each of the last 2 years.
Met Coach Belichick in the Red Sox parking lot about a month ago. He was at the game, and I just happened to meet him. I know he had no clue who I was. I just introduced myself. And I could feel 11 wins. I really could. I could read it on his face.
There was 11 wins emanating from the coach.
Yeah.
Miller out on the bouncing ball to second. He's a big sports fan, Bill Belichick. A lot of these football coaches are just tunnel vision, all football all the time. And Bill's a serious football guy, but he does enjoy baseball and other sports.
What do you think?
Number 53.
11's it's going to be close. 10, 11.
Somewhere in that
I think it'll be
neighborhood.
more than that. I think they're better than last year. I wish they kept Lawyer Malloy like a lot of Patriot fans. I think he was a terrific player. Still has a lot of good football left in him. But as we know, in pro sports, a lot of times it's all about the Benjamins. Or the lawyers in this case, and the accountants.
They get plenty of Benjamins.
Here's Andy Abad, just up from Pettitte, hitting for Nomar Garcia-Parra in the 7th inning. Just his second major league at bat. The guy who spent a lot of time in the minor leagues. And he chops one foul.
I would guess that this is only because the Red Sox have an 8-run lead, but I am a little bit surprised of taking Nomar out at this stage of the game.
Yeah, me too.
I wonder if there's some kind of injury involved here.
Didn't notice anything.
No.
What a thrill this must be for Andy Abad. 31 years old, 11 seasons in professional baseball. This is just his second major league at bat. He appeared in a game for Oakland September 10th of 2001. He popped out in his only plate appearance. Now, of course, the next day was September 11, 2001. And after that tremendous tragedy, baseball shut down for a while. He got hurt during one of their workouts and did not appear again. And back into the minors. Had a nice year at Pettitte. He was leading the International League this year with 93 runs batted in. Pettitte in the playoffs right now and leading their series with Ottawa 2-0. Weaver thought he had a strike there to Abad. Instead, it's 2-2. Andy at 304 for the Paw Sox. We need to get a Pettitte score tonight. They were, I think, scheduled to play tonight, leading Ottawa in the playoff series 2-0.
They're looking for the sweep tonight.
Trailing 1-0 in the 6th, we are told. Out of play to the left. Maloney at third, 2 outs. 9-1 Boston in the 7th inning. Abad rolls one foul. Well, we wish Lawyer Malloy well. Not only a terrific player for the Patriots for 7 years, but a really good guy. Good guy in the community. And good luck to him. And out to the mound goes the new catcher Flaherty to chat with Weaver. They have action in their bullpen. Weaver's certainly done a nice job. That's Jorge De Paula warming up in their bullpen.
Just recently called up from Columbus. The Yankees have made quite a few additions over the last couple of days to their roster, both in the pitching and fielding department. Drew Henson called up.
That's the big story and a big surprise. Henson, considered a top prospect. Third baseman, of course, the terrific quarterback at the University of Michigan. Many thought he had a very bright future in the NFL as a quarterback. Elected to play baseball. He has struggled mightily. Rumors in recent days that he was going to abandon baseball and resume his football career, and he said at a press conference today that those reports are not true. He intends to continue with baseball. A bat, a routine fly to center after a lengthy at bat. He is retired on the fly ball to Williams. The Red Sox leave a runner at third, but at the 7th inning stretch they lead 9-1.
For every bump that doesn't break you, every turn that doesn't shake you, for every dad that's ever said, "You bet, I'll take you," there's Camry. Could Camry really be that reliable, that safe and dependable? Ask someone you know who drives one.
Get the feeling, get the feeling.
I just want to be a star again.
The problem.
For you to get your career back, you'd have to relive your entire childhood.
The solution.
For this to work, we've got to almost reboot you like a human computer.
I feel ridiculous.
Dickie Roberts.
Teach me how to ride a bike.
Rated PG-13. Today in theaters everywhere.
And it's for hoop, not height. And it's for shoes, not shoe contracts. And it's for real. Real shoes for real players. New Balance basketball is available at all City Sports locations.
Strangers in the night, exchanging glances.
No two people are the same, which becomes obvious as soon as they share a bed. That's why we created the Sleep Number bed. It allows each person to set their side of the bed to their sleep number, which is their level of ideal firmness. A sleep number is the key to a perfect night's sleep. Find your sleep number at a select comfort store.
It's time for news from around the majors, brought to you by Hewlett-Packard. Tempers flaring at this time of the year. The Cubs reliever Antonio Alfonseca was suspended today for 7 games for bumping umpire Justin Clem a couple of days ago. An argument about a ball that the Cubs thought hit the left field line. Clem called it foul, and Alfonseca came out of the bullpen and bumped Clem. Mike Riley, one of the umpires, said it was one of the severest attacks of an umpire he's seen in his 27 years in the big leagues, and Alfonseca got 7 games for it. And Blue Jays manager Carlos Tosca sprayed spittle on Tim Timmons. A lot of alliteration in that sentence, and it results in a 1-game suspension. Don't spit when you argue with the umps. That's news from around the majors, brought to you by Hewlett-Packard. 9-1 Red Sox. Grady Little deciding here that 6 innings is enough with an 8-run lead. So he'll turn it over to the bullpen right here to get 9 outs. Pedro threw 94 pitches. Here's Scott Sauerbeck.
Sauerbeck making his 19th appearance, a record of 0-1. His last coming Wednesday against the White Sox, 2/3 of an inning in that game, and did have a strikeout. I thought Pedro might come out for the 7th and then leave the bullpen reliable, responsible to get 6 outs in this ball game. We have Damian Jackson in also at shortstop, replacing Garcia Parra. A bad hit for Garcia Parra. Jackson at shortstop.
Glenn Geffner from the Red Sox PR department tells us nothing wrong with Nomar.
Just to get him out of the game.
Out of the ball game. I would have liked to have seen one more inning from Pedro to feel a little bit better about this, Jerry.
What was his pitch count? 94?
94. Maybe one start removed from the rocky outing last time. Still building his strength. I don't know. You're trying to find reasons. They want to reduce the wear and tear, and you would think an 8-run lead would be safe. But we have seen a few things this year that could lead you to think this one is not comfortably sewn up yet.
No, he's not to the 100 pitches yet, and with one more inning, the 7th, he'd be right around that mark. You know, obviously a little bit over that.
Matsui up there with a count of 1-1. He is grounded out twice. Pedro pitched 6 innings, allowed 1 run on 4 hits. He walked 1 and struck out 9. Sweeping breaking ball missed, 2-1. A fastball high, 3-1. This has been the problem for Sauerbeck. He does not throw enough strikes. And just exactly what Grady Little and Dave Wallace did not want to see. A leadoff walk with an 8-run lead.
That's 12 walks now for Sauerbeck and 10 strikeouts in 10 innings.
So here's Aaron Boone. He is lined sharply to third and struck out. Strike 1. We talked about Drew Henson, a surprising call-up from the minors for the Yankees. Swing and miss by Boone. A lot of people felt like when the Yankees made the trade at the deadline to go out and get Boone, that was a rather definitive statement that now perhaps Henson is not the third baseman of the future as he had been thought to be all along.
Just my opinion, Sean, but I think they went about things wrong with Henson. They started him too high in the organization. And here's a guy that really has not played a lot of baseball. Was focused on football in college. Obviously a very talented guy. Why put him at a level where he could possibly be overmatched? And that's exactly what happened to him. Now, how do you rebound out of that? He never really did. Send him in.
Just 234 for Columbus this year.
Let him start at A ball. Let him get his feet on the ground down there. Obviously, he's better than those players. Build up some confidence. Move him up to Double-A and eventually get him to Triple-A. Why start him at that high of a level for a guy that was really focused on football?
Backdoor breaking ball missed. And Sauerbeck takes a stroll. Two and two. Leadoff man on. Matsui at first. Bottom of the 7th. Red Sox leading 9-1. Red Sox jumped out to a 3-0 lead after 1, 4-0 after 2, 8-0 after 3. Each team scored a run in the 6th. Line to center, a base hit.
See, one of the problems I have, I guess one of the things that bothers me the most about Grady Little is the fact that when he brings a reliever like Sauerbeck in a game, there's nobody thrown down in the bullpen. It's almost like you're expected to go 1, 2, 3. It doesn't happen that way a lot. And now we still have nobody up. I know it's a 9-1 game, but things happen very quickly in this game. You got to bring a reliever in this situation. You maybe have somebody just loosening, you know, getting his arm loose so it doesn't take that long to warm up. You have a little trouble, you can quickly go to that bullpen. You got 2 runners on already, and now just starting to get someone up.
I just think, you know, we're pretty well into September now, a few days into September. This is your last series against the Yankees. Your last chance to gain ground head-to-head. There's Brandon Lyon. And the way this Red Sox bullpen has pitched all year, Pedro clearly having a good night. Why not have him go one more inning and get yourself 3 outs closer to a win that you really, really need?
I agree. To me, you don't play this game at this time of the year like it's a 9-1 game. You play this like it's a 1-0 game.
Yeah.
This
Even
is
hitting
September.
from Nomar. I mean, it's nice to get Andy Abad in the bat, but
there'll be
you hope
time
there
for
might be another time for that down the road. And now he's put himself in a situation where you can see he's a little nervous, even with the 8-run lead. There's a base hit to right. Juan Rivera, the pinch hitter, delivers. Down by 8 with nobody out. Willie Randolph isn't going to take a chance waving Matsui around. So 3 straight men have reached against Sauerbeck on a walk and 2 singles. And Jason Varitek with his arm around Sauerbeck. Here we go again.
Juan Rivera going to the opposite field, so a walk and back-to-back hits. The Yankees very quickly have bases loaded. They have nobody out, and the Red Sox still have to get 9 outs to win this game. Matsui obviously not taking a chance down by 8 runs with nobody out.
So here's Enrique Wilson. Real bad right-handed against Sauerbeck. He was 2 for 2 with 2 doubles left-handed against Pedro. And he takes a belt-high breaking ball for strike 1. He scored their run last inning. Just a .208 career hitter with the bases loaded. He does have 3 grand slams. Infield at double play depth. They give him some room in the left center field and the outfield. The ball well outside. After Wilson, it's the top of the order. Alfonso Soriano on deck. Swing and a miss. He helped Sauerbeck chasing the ball in the dirt.
Wilson's not going to get a hit because Pedro's not out there. Sauerbeck's got a chasing bad pitches.
The 1-2 pitch. Chop foul. Sauerbeck tied him up with a breaking ball. Backdoor breaking ball missed. Now the 2-2. Chop foul.
This will probably be the last battle for Sauerbeck. You got Soriano coming up next, and there is right-handed action in the bullpen.
Matsui, Boone, and Garcia. Excuse me, Rivera, the pinch hitter for Garcia, are the runners. And Wilson is battling Sauerbeck. It's still 2-2. Alan Embry has joined Brandon Lyon now in the bullpen. And yet another foul ball. Sauerbeck keeps throwing that breaking ball into the hands, and Wilson keeps chopping it away. Sauerbeck, 31 years old, an Ohio native. Played 4 years of baseball at Miami of Ohio. Started his career in the Mets organization, never made it to the majors with them, then on to Pittsburgh. Hit to second, a double play ball. And they turn it. Maloney, Jackson, and Millar run scores, but the Red Sox will take that trade off. Matsui in from third to make it 9-2. And no RBI for Wilson as a result of the double play.
Now, just for the doctor ordered here, bases loaded, nobody out. Certainly give up the one more run to get the 2 quick outs. Maloney to Jackson, plenty of time to get Wilson. Told you Wilson wouldn't get a hit.
The only guy who's ever been sorry to see Pedro Martinez go out of a game.
Yeah. He was probably the only Yankee upset when he saw him leave after 6.
Now the top of the order in Soriano. Strike 1. He's 1 for 3. He doubled to right center to drive in their run last inning, as he and Wilson hit back-to-back doubles. Wilson then Soriano. 9 runs, 14 hits for Boston, 2 runs and 6 hits for New York. Neither team's made an error. Pass Sauerbeck, a base hit. After the double play, Grady Little left him in there to pitch to the right-hander, hoping that Soriano could get out of the inning, or rather Sauerbeck could get out of the inning by getting Soriano and allowing just the 1 run. But it did not happen. It's a 2-run inning as Aaron Boone came in from third. Because it is the left-handed hitting Johnson, Sauerbeck continues. He's given up 2 runs on 3 hits and a walk. And throws strike 1 to Johnson. Seattle has come from behind to take a 4-2 lead over Baltimore. They're in the 7th inning now at Camden Yards. And a final in the American League, Toronto beat Detroit 8-5. I'll give you a full check of the scoreboard coming up in just a little while. 0-2 the count on Johnson. He's the nephew of Larry Bowen, with the exception of that disastrous game for the Phillies Monday against the Red Sox. The Phillies in the midst of a great run. Wow. That looked like a good pitch. Sauerbeck wanted it. Joe West didn't give it to him, and the inning continues 1-2. Check swing and a foul ball. Since losing that game to the Red Sox Monday, the Phillies have won 3 in a row. And of course, they had won 3 in a row going into that game. They've won 6 of 7. That looked like one of those losses that could send a team right back in a tailspin, but the Phillies battled back, bounced back in their last series.
Jose Mesa gave it up again last night, but they did come back to win that game. That was an ugly game he did on Monday.
Yes, it was. But a win is a win.
Yeah.
Foul ball. This will be the 30th pitch of the inning of coming for Sauerbeck.
Now, these 2 teams in the games that we've had this year have not exactly been snappy affairs either. The Red Sox and Yankee games, some very long, drawn-out games.
Swing and a miss. He struck him out. First strikeout for Sauerbeck. That ends the inning after 7, 9-3 Boston.
Nothing has changed. Everything has changed. The all-new 265 horsepower Nissan Maxima.
To get through 4 years of college, you can order a lot of coffee to go, or you can order a lot of PC to go. Do schoolwork without being in school when you upgrade to a compact Presario with the Intel Pentium 4 processor. For only $9.99 after rebate, you get desktop power that goes where you go. So you can email photos, watch movies, burn CDs, and, oh yeah, do schoolwork. Call today and get free shipping and compact desktops from just $349. When it really matters, choose compact.
There's no room for failure at that point. We're down, we're almost out, but we never stop fighting. The most memorable kick of my life.
Ford Super Duty equipped with a Fisher plow is more than a clutch player. Ford Super Duty with up to $4,000 cash or 0% plus $1,000 Ford credit bonus cash. Also get $500 bonus cash on a limited allocation of Super Duties equipped with a plow and $1,000 in upfit reimbursement for commercial customers.
Only at your New England Ford dealer.
Tonight, after the game, it's Nightcast at 10 on UPN 38. Sarah Underwood and Ted Wayman will give you the latest news that affects you. So if you watch news at 10 o'clock, watch Nightcast at 10. There'll also be some news that might not affect you. Tonight after the game on UPN 38. Let's hope that something that does not affect us is Hurricane Fabian. That's among the stories that they'll be covering.
Bermuda's getting hit pretty hard by Hurricane Fabian. Had my eye on that one all day. I was watching the Weather Channel.
You were monitoring Dr. Steve Lyons, former Red Sox infielder, is their hurricane expert, I believe.
I was also monitoring the Gulf storm that's down in Florida because I had family members traveling down to Florida today. And
play golf?
No, to go to school.
Oh, the Gulf storm. I thought you said the golf.
Yeah, the Gulf storm. Coming
Gulf,
from,
yeah.
Yes.
Gulf. The last time I checked, that was tropical depression number 12 or something.
Right.
Guess they decided we're not going to name these things anymore. Let's just give them numbers. It's too hard to pick up names.
I guess it's worse on the West Coast than on the East Coast, and my members were going toward the East Coast, so they were okay. They were fine. Ron Rivera out in right field, taking over for Kareem Garcia. And Jorge DePaula making his major league debut for the New York Yankees. Called up from Columbus. He was 10-11 at Columbus. Originally signed by the Rockies back in 1997. Came to the Yankees in a trade. And tonight making his debut against the Red Sox.
Exciting time for DePaula. And he hits Manny Ramirez, who didn't like it. And is still looking in the direction of DePaula.
Well, that could be interesting. 0-2 count, trying to go inside on Ramirez. He hits Manny with the pitch. And generally this year, when a Red Sox player has been hit, there has been quick retaliation by the Red Sox. So we'll see what happens after this. Kapler coming into the game now for Manny. See Manny looking out toward the mound after getting hit on the 0-2 count.
So Manny was on base 3 times tonight, a single, a walk, and a hit by pitch. Kapler runs for him. Good speed at first for the Red Sox, leading 9-3 in the 8th. Jeff Weaver, an excellent outing, 4 2/3 innings of 1-run relief. He gave up 5 hits and a walk. He struck out 3, and that takes care of that. A double play. Ortiz the batter, Kapler the runner, and they both head back to the dugout.
Not much reaction time here for Nick Johnson at first base. A line shot by Ortiz, and actually nothing Kapler can do. He's only 1 step towards second. He's doubled up. So the hit batter, a hard line drive. I'm looking at Ortiz there. At first I thought he might have hurt himself on the swing, but he just never had a chance to move out of the box.
2 outs now, and the base is empty. Ortiz 2 for 5 with a single and a double, an RBI and a run score. Here's Millar, 1 for 4. He singled and scored in the 3rd. Paula, 24 years old, chases that grounder foul. He's from the Dominican Republic. 6'1". They list him at 160. I would say he weighs a little more than that.
Oh yeah, he's got to weigh more than 160. Probably 160 when he signed at 16 years old.
You know, those stripes can make you look skinnier, though, they say. Doesn't work for David Wells.
David Wells will be pitching Sunday, right? Sunday against John Burkett in this series.
Yes.
Battling a back problem on and off.
Against Jeff Suppan, actually.
Oh.
I believe.
I thought it was Wakefield tomorrow and then Burkett. I must be wrong.
Yes. Red Sox notes say Suppan.
Oh, then I'm definitely wrong. Because they're never wrong in the notes.
No. Red Sox,
what did I get Burkett?
With Glenn Geffner, I think, have gone to the best press notes in the league, by the way. Which is of absolutely no interest to anybody watching this telecast except for us.
Very helpful to us. There's no question about that. We just corrected a mistake I made because of the notes. People would expect to see Burkett if they listen to me. Instead, they see Suppan on Sunday.
Burkett is going to pitch Monday in Baltimore.
Oh, okay. I knew he was close. Pitches every 5 days.
So basically, you probably had about a 1 out of 5 chance at the very least, even without any deductive reasoning or thinking about it. You just guessed. About a 20% chance. Now, are Sarah and Ted going to be doing the news from the movie theater tonight, or are they going to leave the big screen thing and head back to the palatial studios?
I think they're on the way back to the studio.
You know, this whole thing about the hurricanes and the names and the numbers. Doesn't it seem to you they lean toward the unusual names? Like Fabian. You know, it's not a common name. It's very rarely Bob or Sue. You know,
well, names have changed too throughout the years. I mean, a lot of different kind of names now.
But the hurricane names don't catch up, like Gertrude. You know, there are very few Gertrudes now. But it seems like every G hurricane is Gertrude.
Hurricane Giambi.
Yeah. And I think they stopped trying. I'm watching the thing the other day on the Weather Channel, and they talk about like tropical depression number 12. What'd they just say? Bag the names, forget about it. We can't agree on a name. Well, DePaul is out of his first inning unscathed, just in the nick of time. In fact, we go to the bottom of the 8th, 9-3, Red Sox.
What you doing, Brian?
Oh, I'm just putting my name and address in these bottles and sending them out to sea. Hopefully someone will find them and contact me someday.
Wow.
Yeah, wow.
Why? Why do you torture me, Brian Henderson of 12 Maple Lane?
For the great taste that won't fill you up and never lets you down, make it a Bud Light.
Brian. Nice to meet you.
Take a chance, make it happen. Pop the cork, finger snapping. Spin the wheel, round and round we go. Life is good, life is sweet. Grab yourself a front row seat. Let's meet and have a ball. Let's live. Yeah, let's live for the wonder of it all. Meet me at Foxwoods. Foxwoods.
Like summer, the 2003 model year is coming to an end, but there's still time to get great deals on an 03 Jeep Liberty. Choose from 0% financing for 60 months or a $1,000 cash allowance. Plus, get our 7-year, 70,000-mile powertrain limited warranty. What are you waiting for? We're clearing out the 2003s. Hurry to your Jeep dealer today.
I think Netcast is smarter, it's faster, it's better informed.
It's 1 hour, jam-packed with top stories, developing news, sports, weather.
You know, a lot of people get up earlier, work harder, and not necessarily staying up for a traditional late-night newscast.
What makes us different is that we have the backing of WBZ.
There are more resources put into this newscast than anything in town.
We're young, edgy, energetic, friendly.
Nightcast gets you what you need, and you move on.
And you should watch.
The game summary is brought to you by Infiniti, makers of innovative high-performance premium vehicles. Red Sox dominating this one from the start. They got 3 runs in the first on 5 singles, a run in the second, Then 4 in the third, highlighted by Johnny Damon's bases loaded triple. Every Red Sox starter has a hit. Soriano has driven in 2 of the 3 Yankee runs. A dreadful outing for Andy Pettitte, while Pedro Martinez was very sharp, bouncing back from that rocky outing against the Yankees last weekend. Game summary brought to you by Infinity. We head to the bottom of the 8th, 9-3 Boston, and a new pitcher for the Red Sox is Alan Embry. And his first pitch is a belt high strike to Bernie Williams.
Embry making his 59th appearance for the Red Sox. He is 4-1 on the season. Embry with 41 strikeouts in 51 innings. Last outing was the blown save Monday against Philadelphia in that makeup game of interleague play.
What was that all about? The Oregon playing right as Embry started into his delivery. These Yankees, Jerry, you know, get them down by 6 and all of a sudden they want to cheat and go to dirty tricks. We're probably going to have Bob Shepard yell now in the middle of this delivery from Embry. Noonan tomahawked out of play to the right.
Now Bob Shepard should be heading over to the Meadowlands this weekend. The Giants open up at home.
Yes.
So he'll be going from Yankee Stadium to the Meadowlands. The New York Football Giants open.
Do we know how old Bob Shepard is?
I really don't know.
Legendary public address announcer. Would it be impolite to ask? Bounced up the middle and off the glove of Jackson. Williams reaches to begin the Yankee 8th.
Seems like of all the positions that Damian Jackson has played this year, he has not played a lot of shortstop. Goes to his left, certainly within his range, but never got the ball into his glove. The glove came up too soon.
They've charged Jackson with an error.
It's not going to make Bernie Williams happy, especially here at home. A lot of times at home you think you're going to get those close calls. See Bernie shaking his head. He just got the word on the official scoring.
Maybe that's what it was?
Yep. Guaranteed.
I don't know. I think Lee Mazzilli said something to him when he was shaking his head.
I doubt it.
You're losing 9-3. Should they really be that hung up on an official scoring decision?
That's the way players are. We've all been in that same situation.
Well, that's a sad commentary on American sports.
Uh-oh.
Do I have a half an hour?
The way this thing's rolling along, you got all the time you want. This hasn't exactly been. I mean, it's nice that the Red Sox are ahead 9-3. This has not exactly been a great ball game.
No. But we'll take a bad 9-3.
Absolutely.
You know, I don't want to get out the pom-poms here, but you know, it's a good thing if the Red Sox are ahead. For most people watching the telecast, that's the definition of a good game. Giambi to center. 1 out. Friends, your New England Ford tickets have your tickets to an exciting Red Sox home game. To enter, send your name, address, and phone number to New England Ford Dealers Ticket Giveaway. P.O. Box 276, Boston 02135. There is no purchase necessary. And this opportunity is brought to you by, guess who, Jerry? Who's bringing us this opportunity?
New England Ford.
Wow. Are you sharp?
Now, don't you get me wrong, but I am very happy also as a 9-3 Red Sox lead. And it'll still be 9-3 after that foul ball. But everything happened early in this game. First 3 innings.
Yeah, if you tuned in late, you missed the whole thing. Which is why, folks, you know, you should make your Friday night viewing schedule to be in front of that TV promptly at 7 o'clock every week. A new bat for John Flaherty up for the first time tonight. Jorge Posada, the starting catcher, 1 for 3. Flaherty's hitting .247 for the year with 4 homers and 12 runs batted in. Dan Roach, our fine roving reporter, went over and spoke with Rick Cerrone, not the same Rick Cerrone who used to catch for both of these two teams, a different Rick Cerrone, who is the PR man for the Yankees. He says Bob Shepard is age unknown. Bob doesn't want anyone to know, and nobody seems to know. He doesn't even want to be seen as he hides behind a large microphone.
It's one of the great thrills of being a Major League Baseball player to have your name introduced here at Yankee Stadium by Bob Shepard.
Flaherty called out on strikes for the second out of the inning. First strikeout for Embry, the 11th Red Sox pitchers tonight.
Embry just going with the fastball and gets it right over the outside corner to John Flaherty. Embry actually could be out of this inning. Damian Jackson made that opening play against Bernie Williams, which Bernie thought was a hit, but did not go as a hit.
You trying to stir something up between the two of them, or you know, this loony negative media? Bob Shepard has been the PA announcer here since 1951.
If I'm not, I believe he was a professor at Yale, isn't it? Colgate or one of these fancy schools. St. John's.
He's working on a crossword puzzle.
He's reading a book, it looks like, doesn't he?
Is he? He takes the ball inside. Just short. Bobbled by Jackson. He recovers for the out, but ends the inning after 8. 9-3 Red Sox.
These everyday low fares to your favorite vacation destinations start at just $49.
You are now free to move about the country.
A brilliant sun, virgin sand that stretches for miles, and not another soul to bother you. Because there are 1,000 ways the Marzook Desert can kill you, and that's a deterrent.
Are you tough enough to drive a Tacoma?
This is where Poland Spring comes from. Freiburg, Hollis, Poland, and Poland Spring. The whole idea is to keep our natural spring sources protected. That way, nature can do what nature does best. Produce what just may be the best tasting water on Earth.
Sometimes it's not the power you have, it's the power you have to spare. That's something inside.
That burst of speed, that jolt of energy, that gives you the edge.
The new turbocharged all-wheel drive Subaru Forester. Subaru, driven by what's inside.
Forester is the best small SUV ever tested by the Insurance Institute for Highway Safety.
Friday Night Baseball is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. More than 2,700 nonstop daily flights to 59 destinations all across the country. By your New England Toyota dealers. Get the feeling. By Bud Light for the great taste that won't fill you up and never let you down. Make it a Bud Light. And by General Motors. .21 hits, no home runs in the game. Red Sox with 14 of those 21 hits. And 9 of the 12 runs. Leading 9-3. 9th inning. Jorge DePaula pitching to Jason Varitek, who was 2 for 4. 2 singles, 2 runs batted in. Grass cutter to second. Soriano to Johnson for the out. That'll bring up Trot Nixon. The last time we were with you was Monday, Labor Day. That exciting ball game in Philadelphia, one of the most memorable games of the year. And Trot Nixon hit a grand slam off Turk Wendell of the Phillies to win the ball game for the Red Sox. That big hit made Julia Dunbar of Mattapan a winner in the Southwest Airlines Grand Slam giveaway. She won a pair of round-trip tickets to any Southwest Airlines destination. So congratulations to Julia. And way to go, Trot, to send Julia on a trip. That's a deep drive to center. Bernie Williams all the way back to the wall. And he made the catch. Nixon hit it all the way to the wall, just to the right of the 408 mark. And Bernie Williams with a terrific catch, with, for the most part, his back still to home plate.
Nixon, who also has been on a home run tear, goes deep. 408 to straightaway center field. And Bernie Williams not taking away a home run, but certainly a ball that would have been right off the top of that wall.
They say Bernie doesn't run down balls like he used to, but did a pretty decent job of it that time.
Really kind of glided after that, too, like he knew he had it the whole way.
There's Lou Merlone working on a perfect night. 2 walks, a single, a double. This progression, he should get a triple right now. It's not going to happen unless Bernie falls down. And he does not. An easy 1, 2, 3, and 4 to Paula. Bottom of the 9th upcoming. Red Sox lead by 6.
It's the unexpected touches that make an anniversary special. The Lincoln Mercury anniversary clearance has been extended. Your last chance for end of the model year savings on every remaining 03 Lincoln and Mercury, including our great lineup of SUVs, Lincoln Navigator, the new Lincoln Aviator, and the award-winning Mercury Mountaineer with no-charge leather seating surfaces. Now get 0% APR for 60 months or up to $4,000 cash back, plus your dealer's best model year-end price. Hurry to your New England Lincoln Mercury dealer.
Hey, can I get you anything else?
Well, an assistant, a day off, a life. I don't know. I'm looking for a health plan for my company, and I'm stuck. Who do you have?
I'm with Tufts Health Plan.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, they look good on paper, but how are they in real life?
Well, I have 2 kids. Cappuccino boy over there is single.
Shocking.
And we both have coverage plans we like. Could be why they're highest in member satisfaction again.
I knew that.
Right. Coffee or cappuccino?
Do I look like I need caffeine?
Tufts Health Plan. No one does more to keep you healthy.
It was fast. We made it faster. It was smart. We made it smarter. Until it was as close to perfect as it's ever come. And that's saying something. Introducing the new, more powerful ES330.
I'm not the Phantom Gourmet. I'm not the Phantom Gourmet.
I'm not the Phantom Gourmet.
Can't be me.
I'm not the Phantom Gourmet.
I am not the Phantom Gourmet.
His identity's a secret.
I'm not?
But his show and restaurant reviews are famous. The Phantom Gourmet. Premieres September 20th on UPN 38.
I think Nightcast is smarter, it's faster,
Edgy, energetic,
better informed. It's the best produced newscast in this town.
and you should watch.
Red Sox lead 9-3, heading to the bottom of the 9th, trying to win game 1 of this 3-game series. The copyrighted telecast presented by the authority of the Boston Red Sox. It may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. In addition, the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Boston Red Sox.
Todd Jones coming on the pitch, the 9th inning for the Red Sox. Todd Jones back on August 26th was hit on the wrist by Vernon Wells. Ground ball back to the mound, and he was then sent down the single-A Augusta. That was just a paper move, obviously, as the Red Sox got Lou Maloney. And then as soon as September 1st rolled around, Jones was activated again and called up from Augusta. He was kidding the night on the plane that what a tremendous prospect coming all the way up from A-ball to the big leagues.
Aaron Boone greets him and swings and misses for strike one. Boone 1 for 3, singled and scored in the 7th. Alan Embry pitched a scoreless inning. He struck out one. Fastball just missed. Let's give you a run through the scores here at this time of the year. Scoreboard gets a lot more attention. Seattle leading Baltimore 4-3. That's the big game for the Red Sox in the wild card race at the moment. They're in the 8th. Red Sox a half game ahead of the Mariners entering tonight's action. Toronto beat Detroit 8-6. Mike Maroth lost his 20th game in that one. Oakland continues to win at Tampa Bay. 3-1 is the final. Oakland had actually lost 2 in a row before that one. The White Sox lead Cleveland 5-0. Chicago began the night tied with Minnesota for first place in the Central. Minnesota leading Texas 8-7. They are in the 6th inning at the Metrodome. Kansas City's at Anaheim just getting started. The Royals are a game and a half out in the Central. Jones in a full count with Boone. Juan Rivera on deck. A pop-up. Shallow right center. Maloney out. He wants it. Nixon calls him off and makes the catch. 1 out. Well, tomorrow Tim Wakefield on the mound, Jerry, for the Red Sox, and he has struggled recently. Last 3 starts, an ERA of over 8.
And hooked up against Roger Clemens. They've gone after each other, what, 3 or 4 times already this season. And he has struggled some recently. Well, this is the same thing that happened last week at Fenway. Red Sox wanted to win game 1, and then they got a huge start from Andy Pettitte. They'll be calling on Clemens tomorrow to see if they can give him that big start. It's been an interesting couple of weeks. It really has. You felt like when the Yankees came to Fenway and the Red Sox won that first game, that it's almost like the Yankees were chasing the Red Sox. Then they come back and they win 2 big games on Saturday and Sunday. They go on the road. They don't play well up in Toronto. They get a win last night. Red Sox haven't lost since losing those 2 games. Derek Jeter has not been in the lineup since they played the Red Sox at Fenway. Well, it's a critical game for Boston. You win that game with tonight's win, you go down to what, 2.5?
2.5 tonight. The win tomorrow would be 1.5.
Huge. Yankees just don't. There's no flow to their season right now.
It just seems like there's something off.
Yep.
The bullpen clearly, but a lot of other little issues. Nixon into the corner. The Red Sox are 1 out away from winning game 1 of this series. A victory would get the Red Sox to 82-58, 24 games over 500, which will be the Red Sox high water mark of the season to date. The last time they were 24 over was at the end of last season when they finished the year 93-69. Smiling Enrique Wilson. Ball 1. Why, we're not sure. Wilson has doubled twice and grounded into a double play. He scored after doubling in the 6th. Both doubles against Pedro. He grounded into the double play against Sauerbeck. On a hop to first, Millar will play it himself, and the Red Sox win. They get out to the big lead and were never seriously challenged. Johnny Damon's hit really the one that put it into the comfort zone. He had a 3-run triple that made it 7-0 and knocked Andy Pettitte out of the ball game. Final score, the Red Sox 9 and the Yankees 3. We'll have the totals and more from Yankee Stadium right after this.